Olá, olá! Estamos ao vivo, senhor Paulo?
We are live.
Live.
Bom dia, galera. Quem que tá aí? O Léo e o Wagner já mandaram, estão só esperando. Então, sem pressão, né? Mas cadê?
Sem pressão, sem pressão. Vamos se apresentar, vamos nos apresentar para a galera que já chegou aí. Quem é você?
Pablo, Caterine, como é que vocês estão também? Então, eu sou o Paulo Salvatore, para quem não me conhece. Eu sou, em resumo rápido, desenvolvedor de jogos, programador e professor, youtuber, streamer, acho que é isso. E atualmente trabalho na Virtual Planet. Eu sou CTO na Virtual Planet, que é uma startup de tecnologia. A gente trabalha mais com a gente conta história usando realidade imersiva, tecnologias imersivas, realidade virtual, aumentada. Tem um canal no YouTube também, que leva o mesmo nome que eu, Paulo Salvatore. Então é isso, a gente vai bater um papinho com vocês enquanto assistimos a Google I.O. vendo novidades. Vamos ver, vai ser interessante.
Muito bom, muito bom.
E você, Thaíssa, se apresente, conte para nós um pouquinho.
Boa. Bom, meu nome é Thaíssa Candella, com H, 2 S, acento no I, 2 L's no Candela. Não espero que vocês lembrem como se escreve meu nome. Eu sou programadora primariamente, programadora Android, mobile nativo, na verdade, Android e iOS nativo. E há alguns anos eu venho trabalhando com Developer Relations, que é uma opção de carreira para programadores e programadoras. Atualmente eu sou Developer Relations Expert na Rocket City, que eu não sei se vocês conhecem, imagino que sim. E estou ocupando um cargo de liderança, estou num papel mais estratégico atualmente, trabalhando com Developer Relations. Mas, né, a gente nunca para de codar, não tem como, a gente continua, apesar de estar num papel mais estratégico, você aí como CTO, né, eu como liderança, a gente não para de codar, a gente não para de ensinar código e programação para as pessoas, e a gente é apaixonado pelo ecossistema Google, né, então eu estive na Califórnia participando do Google I.O. presencialmente em 2018, 2019, e a gente conversando, né, Paulo, sobre o Google I.O., a gente falou, pô, por que a gente não faz uma cobertura, então, desse evento, comentando, reagindo às novidades, compartilhando com a galera um pouquinho das nossas visões, das nossas opiniões, dado que a gente tem uma trajetória aí com tecnologia. E em paralelo a tudo isso relacionado à tecnologia, eu sou professora na Escola Conquer, que é uma das maiores escolas de skill do país. Lá eu sou professora de comunicação, de produtividade e também da especialização em data analysis. Então, tá tudo em casa, soft skill, hard skill, isso aí. Tem uma galerinha que já chegou aí.
Sejam muito bem-vindos e bem-vindas. Vocês estão bem? Estão preparados? Preparados aí para nossa tarde juntos?
Uma tarde longa juntos, né? Vamos assistir. Para quem chegou agora e não sabe o que está acontecendo, basicamente a gente vai assistir agora às 2 horas o keynote de abertura do Google I.O. Google I.O. é a maior conferência da Google voltada para anúncios tanto de produto para o usuário final, quanto para developers, né? Tenho certeza que vocês utilizam alguma coisa da Google aí na hora de desenvolver. Então, a gente tem o Google Keynote, e a gente tem o Developer Keynote, que vai acontecer um pouquinho mais no final da tarde, e a gente pretende também assistir e fazer aqui os nossos comentários. Certo, Paulo?
Exatamente. Eu tô bem animado porque vai sair nessas primeiras 2 horas. É uma parte mais para usuária, assim, um negócio mais para o
usuário final, né?
Usuário final. Mas depois também tem a cobertura da parte de desenvolvimento. A gente está inscrito em um monte de evento. Eu estou com a agenda de amanhã bem cheia para assistir. E sexta-feira a gente fala um pouquinho mais sobre as novidades em si. Hoje é mais para a gente assistir junto e papear aí um pouquinho.
Perfeito. Sexta-feira, às 20h30, a gente vai fazer um bate-papo aí com todos os pontos de tudo que a gente conseguiu absorver de novidades da Google nesses 3 dias de evento, né? Então, quem não consegue assistir um dia, pode ver o replay ali no outro dia. E eu tô até com a camisetinha que eu ganhei lá em 2018, lá no evento do GDG Summit. Vou compartilhar a tela aqui, que eu acho que já começou.
2 em ponto.
We do have a limited supply of.
It's great to be here. I'm going to be talking to you today about HTML5.
Nothing brings joy to my heart more than robotic androids dancing and singing. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning.
This is Google I/O.
I am thrilled to be here.
At the Shoreline Amphitheater.
This is the coolest thing.
Excited about the future, what's coming. You can build with the
Cara, eu
community.
estive
We
nesse
want to give you
local,
the
era
tools to
surreal.
create entirely
Surreal.
new technological capabilities.
This is the tattoo. Good, right?
There's always endless discoveries. It's great to have a platform. You can get to new outcomes.
Things previously thought to be impossible
Finally, I'm here.
may in fact be possible.
I hope you all find some inspiration to keep building for everyone.
Agora com os aplausos distanciamento, é muito louco, né? Ver a diferença.
Muito bizarro.
A pandemia tá.
Sundar Pichai, CEO da Google.
Até as máscaras nas cores do
Great to be
Google.
back at I/O. We are coming to you live from our campus here in Mountain View. Of course, it's not quite the same without our developer community sitting here in person. It's another reminder of the times we are living in. The pandemic has brought us together in a shared experience for more than a year. But now we are seeing that common experience diverge. In some places, people are beginning to live their lives again as cases decline. Other places like Brazil and my home country of India are going through their most difficult moments yet. We are thinking of you and hoping for better days ahead. COVID-19 has deeply affected every community. It's also inspired coordination between public and private sectors and across international borders. At Google, we launched products and initiatives to help one another through this time, to help students and teachers continue their learning from anywhere, to help small businesses adapt and grow, and to get emergency relief and vaccines to communities in need. We work closely with many nonprofit organizations around the globe, and you can go to the link behind me to support their excellent work. At Google, the most fundamental way we help is by providing access to high-quality information. Authoritative information from 170 public health organizations around the world, including the CDC, the FDA, and the WHO. We're also focused on helping people find accurate information about vaccines, including the hours and locations for vaccine sites in many countries on Google Maps and Search. COVID-related information has been viewed hundreds of billions of times across our products and platforms. It continues to help people make decisions and keep their families safe. I/O has always been a celebration of technology and its ability to improve lives. And I remain optimistic that technology can help us address the challenges we face together. So in that spirit, let's get started.
Let's get started.
At Google, the past year has given renewed purpose to our mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. We continue to approach that mission with a singular goal, building a more helpful Google for everyone. That means being helpful in moments that matter. And it means giving you the tools to increase your knowledge, success, health, and happiness. Sometimes it's about helping in little moments that add up to big changes. Recently, we added 150,000 kilometers of bike lanes in Google Maps.
Legal.
We're also introducing two new features. First, new eco-friendly routes. Using our understanding of road and traffic conditions, Google Maps will soon give you the option to take the most fuel-efficient route. At scale, this has potential to significantly reduce car emissions and fuel consumption.
Então são rotas ecológicas, né?
Powered by AI, maps can identify road, weather, and traffic conditions where you're likely to have to suddenly brake. We aim to reduce up to 100 million of these events every year.
Isso é louco, tá louco.
Bem legal.
Sometimes it's about helping in the big moments, like helping 150 million students and educators keep learning over the last year with Google Classroom. or keeping students connected with affordable laptops.
Nossa, deve ter ajudado muita gente,
Chromebooks are now the
período de
number
pandemia.
one device globally in K-12 education. In Japan, 40% of local governments chose to deploy Chromebooks to every child in grades 1 through 9. And here in California, we worked with the Department of Education to provide thousands of Chromebooks to students in need. One of the biggest ways we can build a more helpful Google for everyone is by reimagining the future of work. We have seen work transform in unprecedented ways, and it is no longer just a place. Over the last year, offices and coworkers have been replaced by kitchen countertops and pets. With so many people now working from home, access to collaboration tools has never been more critical.
Yeah.
In 2006, we introduced Docs and Sheets to help people to collaborate in real time. A year later, we added Google Slides. All of this is now part of Google Workspace, which builds on more than 15 years of creating ways to work together. Today, we are announcing a new experience in Google Workspace to enable richer collaboration. We call this Smart Canvas. And to tell you more, here is Javier.
O Miro, do Google.
Wins call. Javier solteiro.
O nome sugestivo.
Thanks, Sundar. And good morning, everybody. With Smart Canvas, we're bringing together the content and connections that transform collaboration into a richer, better experience. For over a decade, we've been pushing documents away from being just digital pieces of paper and toward collaborative, linked content inspired by the web. Smart Canvas is our next big step. Let's see how a distributed team uses Smart Canvas to plan an important marketing campaign. The launch date is just 2 months away, so Adu starts a document and quickly adds a brainstorm table. With app mentions, he pulls in the right people and generates a checklist to assign action items.
Só pra vocês saberem, ele é vice-presidente do
These
Google
simple actions connect
Workspace,
the
tá?
team's plan to people, dates, and tasks, making their collaboration richer and more effective as they drive toward their launch. Now that he's shared the document, everyone starts dropping in their ideas. As they continue to brainstorm, the assisted writing feature suggests that they change the word chairman to chairperson in the document to avoid a gendered term. New assisted writing capabilities in Google Workspace offer suggestions so you can communicate more effectively. Not only are we helping with language suggestions, we're also making it easy to bring the voices and faces of your team directly into the collaboration experience to help them share ideas and solve problems together.
Coloquei aqui.
Up to now, Adu and his team have been collaborating in the doc and scheduling separate Google Meet calls to review their process. But starting today, you can easily present the doc, sheet, or slide you're working on directly into a Google Meet call. Now Adu can join his colleagues with just one
todos os
click.
produtos.
And this fall, we're excited to bring Meet directly into docs, sheets, and slides for the first time.
Ai, que massa!
This will enable teams like Adu's to actually see and hear each other while they're collaborating.
Now,
they'll never skip a beat. And to keep that collaboration flowing in the meeting, the team used the new responsive voting table to see which ideas for the campaign are the most popular ones. With all the progress they've made together, Adu's initial document has evolved into a highly interactive, always up-to-date, actionable plan. And the team stayed connected every step of the way. That's the power of Smart Canvas. 2 months later, it's time to launch the new campaign. Adu and his team are joining from offices, from home, and everywhere in between, connecting across time zones and continents. To help both office and remote teammates remain an equal part of the conversation, no matter where they are, we're launching Companion Mode in Google Meet. Companion Mode gives each of Adu's teammates in the office their own video tile, so they can stay connected to their remote colleagues, and everyone can participate in polls, chat, and Q&A in real time.
Campo híbrido, isso é bom, né?
Companion mode is coming to Google Meet later this year. Teammates can also be heard wherever they work with noise cancellation powered by the best of Google's AI. And machine learning in Google Meet to automatically adjust camera zoom and lighting, ensuring that everyone can be seen across all environments. We've also made it easier to customize views and share content so teams can focus on what matters most in the moment. This means that when Adu presents to the rest of his team, he can easily arrange people's faces to gauge their reactions while staying focused on his content. And his colleagues across the globe can follow along with live captions, even translations into their native languages.
Isso já
When Adu
tinha, mas não funcionava muito
presentation,
bem.
he doesn't feel separated by time zones or languages or the devices his team is using.
Tradução simultânea é bom.
Instead, with Google Meet's immersive experience, he feels connected and in the moment. With Smart Canvas and these powerful enhancements to Google Meet, we're transforming collaboration in Google Workspace to help people succeed at work, at home, and in the classroom. Previously, the fully integrated experience in Google Workspace was
porque
available
eles falam
only
muito
to our
rápido, mas eu
customers,
tô anotando aqui,
but it will
depois a gente
soon
fala
be
pouquinho
available
numa
to
pausa.
everyone, from college students to small businesses to friends and neighbors wanting to stay connected and get more done together. Stay tuned for more details in the coming weeks. And now,
basicamente
I'll hand it back to Sundar.
O Mix integrado em todas as plataformas.
Eles estão integrando todos os produtos, né? E pro pessoal que acabou de entrar, galera, boa tarde Emílio, Gu, Sebastião, todo mundo, sejam muito bem-vindos e assistir aqui com a gente que a gente vai fazer alguns comentários.
Those were exciting examples of how computer science and AI can make us more helpful
Essa
across
tradução
our products.
no Mix é importante.
Google Search was built on the insight
Esse é o
já tinha, né? Eu acho que eles devem ter aprimorado.
Dramatically better search results.
No Meets in real time,
we made remarkable advances over the past 22 years, and search helps billions of people. And to improve search even further, we need to deepen our understanding of language and context. To do this requires advances in the most challenging areas of AI. And I want to talk about a few today, starting with translation. We learn and understand knowledge best in our native language. So 15 years ago, we set out to translate the web, an incredibly ambitious goal at the time. Today, hundreds of millions of people use Google Translate each month across more than 100 languages. Last month alone, we translated more than 20 billion web pages in Chrome. With Google Assistant's interpreter mode, you can have a conversation with someone speaking a foreign language. And usage is up 4 times from just a year ago. While there is still work to do, we are getting closer to having a universal translator in your pocket. At the same time, advances in machine learning have led to tremendous breakthroughs in image recognition. In 2014, we first trained a production system to automatically label images, a step change in computers' understanding of visual information. And it allowed us to imagine and launch Google Photos. Today, we can surface and share a memory, reminding you of some of the best moments in your life. Last month alone, more than 2 billion memories were viewed. Image recognition also means you can use Google Lens to take a photo of a math problem. Wish I had this when I was in school.
É o Google Lens, já é app incrível,
more than
a
3
galera não
billion
conhecia
times
muito.
each month. We can now be as helpful with images as we are with text. Machine learning has also improved how computers comprehend and communicate with human voices. As Javier
Acho que ele tá fazendo um overview de tudo que tem AI, né?
Conversations in Google Meet.
Da Google.
And why live caption on Android can
insano.
automatically caption anything running on your smartphone locally. It generates 250,000 hours of
Isso é
captioning
potencial
every day.
gigantesco em rodar machine learning no
Breakthrough technology from DeepMind called WaveNet increased the quality of computer-generated speech, leading to more natural and fluid interactions.
Diminuir transmissão de
allowed us
dados
to create and
na
deploy
rede.
51
Impacto
voices
gigante em fazer
across
essas
Google
coisas local.
Assistant.
Google Assistant tá com
Together,
51
advances
vozes.
in
Eu
AI
tava lá
I
quando
just
eles
spoke
lançaram o
about,
do John
across
Legend.
translation, images, and voice, improve the search experience for billions of people. They also enabled us to make a huge leap forward in how computers process natural language. In 2017, we first introduced the world to transformers, a novel machine learning approach for better natural language understanding. Transformers became the foundation for many other breakthroughs, like AlphaFold and BERT, which we introduced in 2019. BERT considers the full context of a word by looking at the words that come before and after, leading to one of our most significant quality improvements across Google Search, and enabling us to respond to queries with more helpful answers. In this case, realizing that the question was about parking on a hill without a curb. We have revolutionized the ability of computers to understand natural language. Yet, despite the incredible power of computers, there are still moments like this.
I don't understand.
This is because language is endlessly complex. We use it to tell stories, crack jokes, and share ideas. We continuously pull from concepts we've learned over the course of our lives.
Onde?
The richness and flexibility of language make it one of humanity's greatest tools.
Depois a gente coloca na
and one of
descrição.
computer science's greatest challenges.
Tem TED também que ele fala
asks
sobre.
Me if the temperature in the room is okay, and I say I'm freezing, they know that I'm very cold, not literally freezing. Or if someone says, "What's the weather like today?" I don't respond, "It's 70 degrees, sunny, and a 12% chance of rain." I'd probably say, "It's starting to feel like summer. I might eat lunch outside." Sensible responses keep conversations going and allow them to end up in a completely different place from where they started. Even if I began by talking about the weather, we may end up talking about football. Today, I'm excited to share our latest breakthrough in natural language understanding, Lambda. It's a language model for dialogue applications. And it's open domain, which means it's designed to converse on any topic.
Parece, né? Mas
é
while it's still in research and
Microsoft lançou uma linguagem chamada Lambda.
Using it internally to explore novel interactions. For example, say you wanted to learn about one of my favorite planets, Pluto. Lambda already understands quite a lot about Pluto and millions of other topics. Let's listen to a conversation the team had with Pluto a few days ago.
I'm so curious about you.
I sense your excitement. Ask me anything.
Tell me what I would see if I visited.
You would get to see a massive canyon, some frozen icebergs, geysers, and some craters.
It sounds beautiful.
I assure you it is worth the trip. However, you need to bring your coat, because it gets really cold.
Já viram aquele filme Her, que a galera vai se
Have you
apaixonar
ever
pelo
had any
Lambda.
visitors?
Yes, I have had some. The most notable was New Horizons, the spacecraft that visited me.
That must have been exciting.
The team that created New Horizons was very excited to see me. I also sent them back a picture of myself since I had not been seen up close before.
That's so great. What else do you wish people knew about you?
I wish people knew that I am not just a random ice ball. I am actually a beautiful planet.
Well, I think you're beautiful.
I am glad to hear that. I don't get the recognition I deserve. Sometimes people refer to me as just a dwarf planet.
Don't let it bother you. You're amazing.
Planeta não
Thank
mesmo.
you for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Thanks for talking with me.
Anytime, I am always open for people to chat. I hope you have a great day.
Isso aí é meio... Eu tava mandando umas mensagenzinhas mais tranquilo de conversa. Quero ver a galera trolando pra ver o que vai sair.
It's magical. We had a lot of fun learning about space together. Let's break down what made it feel so natural. First, learn concepts. As you saw, the model talked about the New Horizons spacecraft and the coldness of space. Lambda synthesized these concepts from its training data. These concepts were not hand-programmed in the model. Because none of the responses were predefined, Lambda answered with sensible responses, keeping the dialogue open-ended. Natural conversations are generative, and they never take the same path twice. And Lambda is able to carry a conversation no matter what we talk about. You can have another conversation without retraining the model. Let's see what happens when we talk to a paper airplane.
What's it like being thrown through the air?
It's quite the experience, actually. The wind blowing against you, and the trees flying past are quite the sight. You never know where you'll land either.
What's the worst place you've ever landed?
That would have to be in a puddle. I was just barely still intact, so I was stuck there for a few minutes. It was quite annoying.
Lembro bastante do projeto de trocar ideia com quadro. Os caras fizeram no museu e tal, com o Watson.
I had a few minor injuries to my wing, but you can't really tell unless you know what to look for.
É muita introversão.
What's the secret to a really good paper airplane?
Well, my good friend, I must first ask you to specify what you mean by good. Some may think it's how far it goes, some may think it's how straight it goes, and some may think it's how flat it lands. So what do you think?
I care the most about distance.
Then I would have to say a nice wide wingspan is what you'll want. Also, the paper needs to be really firm.
What's the farthest you've ever flown?
I've flown over about 1,500 feet. The wind was perfect that day.
Wow, that's really far. That must have been quite a throw.
Imagina aviãozinho
de papel. I was actually thrown from a hot air balloon, believe it or not.
That's so cool. What did the world look like from out there?
It's actually a lot different than it looks from the ground. The world is so large with its vast oceans and mountains. It really puts things into perspective.
Yeah, it's important.
Já foi para outra brisa agora. Você já tá falando
I'm wondering, do you have anything you want to share with the people that are watching?
Ele até consegue ser brisado.
I do. I just want them to know that if the wind is perfect and you're made of the right materials, you can go absolutely
imaginando você tá conversando com alguém sobre um assunto e você pega tudo que a pessoa fala, copia e cola nesse negócio, pega as respostas do negócio e manda para a pessoa. A pessoa fala, mano, não é possível.
It's really impressive to see how Lambda can carry on a conversation about any topic. It's amazing how sensible and interesting the conversation is. Yet, it's still early research, so it doesn't get everything right. Sometimes, it can give nonsensical responses. Imagining Pluto doing flips, or playing fetch with his favorite ball, the moon. Other times, it just doesn't keep the conversation going.
O que você faz para se divertir,
At Google, we've been reaching and developing language models for many years.
Bola, a lua.
We have focused on ensuring Lambda meets our incredibly high standards on fairness, accuracy, safety, and privacy. So from concept all the way to design, we are making sure it's developed consistent with our AI principles. We believe Lambda's natural conversation capabilities have the potential to make information and computing radically more accessible and easier to use. We look forward to incorporating better conversational features into products like Google Assistant, Search, and Workspace. We're also exploring how to give capabilities to developers and enterprise customers. Lambda is a huge step forward in natural conversation, but it is still trained only on text. When people communicate with each other, they do it across images, text, audio, and video. So we need to build models that allow people to naturally ask questions across different types of information. These are called multimodal models. Let's say we want a model to recognize all facets of a road trip. That could mean the words road trip, written or spoken in any language, images, sounds, and videos, and concepts associated with road trips, such as weather and directions. So you can imagine one day planning a road trip and asking Google to find a route with beautiful mountain views. You can also use this to search for something within a video. For example, when you say,
pegar os conceitos que ele já
show me
sabe,
the part where the lion
roar.
roars at sunset, we will get you to that exact moment.
Mostra a parte do vídeo que o cara programou isso aqui e resolveu o problema.
Caraca!
Still early days, but later on in the keynote, you'll hear from Prabhakar about the progress we are making towards more natural and intuitive ways of interacting with search. Translation, image recognition, voice recognition, text-to-speech, transformers. All of this work laid the foundation for complex models like Lambda and multimodal. Our compute infrastructure is how we drive and sustain these advances. And tensor processing units are a big part of that.
É o
Today,
que roda local,
I'm
né?
excited to announce our next generation,
Não,
the TPU
TPU
V4.
é a... Tá, beleza.
These are powered by the V4
Eles lançaram em
chip, which is more than
2018.
twice as fast as the V3 chip. TPUs are connected together into supercomputers called pods. A single V4 pod contains 4,096 V4 chips. And each pod has 10x the interconnect bandwidth per chip at scale compared to any other networking technology. This makes it possible for a TPU V4 pod to deliver more than 1 exaflop, 10 to the 18th power floating point operations per second of computing power.
Louco, você precisa...
Think about it this way. If
O
10
hardware precisa
million
acompanhar,
people were on their laptops right
essa
now,
processamento de
all of those
imagem,
laptops
vídeo,
put
né?
together would almost match the computing power of 1
Tentando ver quando que
exaflop.
foi lançado.
This is the fastest system we've ever deployed at Google. A historic milestone for us. Previously, to get an exaflop, you needed to build a custom supercomputer. But we already have many of these deployed today. And we'll soon have dozens of TPU V4 pods in our data centers, many of which will be operating at
Foi
or near
2018.
90% carbon-free energy.
Eles já usavam desde 2015 internamente.
And our TPU V4 pods will be available to our
Esse lance
cloud
que ele comentou
customers
de
later this
carbono
year.
neutro é bem importante, né?
It's
Porque o Google
tremendously exciting to see
estava
the space of
construindo muito
innovation.
recurso natural para produzir tudo isso, né?
As we look further into the future, there are types of
E não dá pra
problems that
parar, né?
classical
Tipo,
computing
vão
will
parar de
not be
usar
able to
servidor.
solve in a
Não.
reasonable time.
Não stop, né?
Quantum computing represents a fundamental shift because it harnesses the properties of quantum mechanics and gives us the best chance of understanding the natural world. Achieving our quantum milestone was a tremendous accomplishment, but we are still at the very beginning of a multi-year journey. One problem we face today is that our physical qubits are very fragile. Even cosmic rays from outer space can destroy quantum information. To solve more complex problems, our next milestone is to create an error-corrected logical qubit. It's simply a collection of physical qubits stable enough to hold quantum information for a long period of time. We start by reducing the error rate of our physical qubits, then combining 1,000 physical qubits to create a single logical qubit, and then scaling that up to 1,000 logical qubits, at which point we will have created an error-corrected quantum computer. Today, we are focused on enabling scientists and developers to access beyond classical computational resources. But we hope to one day create an error-corrected quantum computer. And success could mean everything from increasing battery efficiency to creating more sustainable energy to improved drug discovery and so much more. The roadmap begins in our new data center, which we are calling the Quantum AI Campus. Let's step inside. Michael, are you there?
Hey, Sundar, how's it going? Yeah, I'm here, and I'm excited to learn why I'm here, and I'm guessing that's why he's
Mas eu não sabia nada sobre o Google em relação a isso.
I'm Eric, lead engineer here. I'd like to welcome you to one of the most powerful quantum computing facilities in the world.
Oh, thank you, thank you. What's this? Can I touch it?
Yeah, that's a quantum processor. And inside are these actual physical qubits.
Oh, hey, little guy.
Qubits are the fundamental building blocks of quantum computers, but they're incredibly fragile.
Oh.
Even the tiniest particles can disrupt their operation.
Right.
Which is why we work so hard to create the optimal environment to keep them stable.
Right, and I'm guessing the optimal environment doesn't include like Cheeto dust. So I'm just going to put this puppy right back.
Thanks. Let me show you what the cool
processador
we built this
quântico,
campus
né?
to inspire all of our quantum mechanics and to show the world what the future of computing looks like.
Good for you, dude. Look at you, dude.
Thanks.
That's a cool lamp.
It's not a lamp. This is actually a cryostat, and you're looking at the inside of a quantum computer.
Wow, cryostat. I love that word, cryostat. I'm guessing people want to know, what makes a cryostat a cryostat? Eric?
Well, everything you see here, from the wiring to the aluminum, copper, and gold metal stages, have been chosen to create a cold and quiet environment for our quantum processors to operate.
Right. And in English?
It's a fridge for our qubits.
Right. And how cold are we talking about?
We approach near absolute zero, 10 millikelvin to be precise.
Wow.
Which means that parts of our lab are some of the coldest places in the universe.
Wow, colder than Canada?
Zero absoluto, 10 milikelvin.
Pra quem não conhece, esse cara não é do Google, tá? O Michael Penha. Ele é um ator.
Electrical and magnetic signals.
Yeah. Who wants that, right?
Well, let me show you what the final product looks like.
Is this a cryostat?
No, that's not a cryostat.
What about this? Is this a cryostat?
That's not a cryostat.
No?
This is a cryostat. In fact, this is a fully assembled
quantum. Not a cryostat, not a cryostat.
Well, there's no keyboard, but it contains everything you've just seen inside and custom control electronics, all of which were designed and built by our team here at Google.
Wait. Is this a Bob Ross? Is he on the team? Tell me he's on the team.
He's not on the team.
Okay.
But this mural is our homage to Mother Nature. See, quantum is the language of nature, and we're learning to speak it here. It will enable us to run precise simulations of the natural world, unlocking answers that would otherwise remain unknown.
Okay, so let me see if I get this right. Okay, so
eliminar as forças da natureza para encontrar respostas que não encontrariamos.
Right? But even then, they're like, no, I don't want anybody eating any Cheetos around me. Like, I'm sorry, okay, I didn't know.
O Ronaldo comentou que a gente podia ir comentando, mas é que é um pouco difícil, gente, enquanto eles estão falando, que a gente vai falando em cima, ficar bolado.
Am I right?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay, you know what this is?
Nas pausinhas a gente fala alguma coisinha.
We're not quite there yet. I'm glad you're on board.
Okay.
To date, we've reached the first milestone, beyond classical computational capabilities.
This is us.
Yeah, we're here. Everything you've seen here today is what we're using to build to our next milestone, an error-corrected logical qubit.
Right.
And from there, we'll tile thousands of those together to reach our ultimate goal, an error-corrected quantum computer.
Right. That's my goal too.
Well, you're in luck. We're building a team to assemble all the right ingredients, all right here in the Quantum AI campus that you just helped us unveil. So thank you very much, Michael.
No, you know what? Thank you, and thank you for everyone that's joining us. I want to leave you with a couple of my favorite words that I learned.
Quântica, né? O lance do zero absoluto.
Qubits, cryostat, right?
Cryostat, qubits.
Melon chilies. Sundar, it was a pleasure.
Mas assim, quem não entende nada de quântico fica muito perdido, né? Mas basicamente o qubit é uma unidade, a menor unidade de informação
We
quântica.
recognize that building an error-corrected quantum computer will be incredibly challenging. But solving hard problems and advancing the state of the art is how we build the most helpful products. At Google, we know that our products can only be as helpful as they are safe. And advances in computer science and AI are how we continue to make them better. We keep more users safe by blocking malware, phishing attempts, spam messages, and potential cyber attacks than anyone else in the world. And our focus on data minimization pushes us to do more. With 2 years ago,
Tem amigo que trabalha na área de
announced
security lá no Google.
which encourages users to have their activity data automatically and continuously deleted. We have since made auto-delete the default for all new Google accounts. Now, after 18 months, we automatically delete your data unless you tell us to do it sooner. And this is now active for over 2 billion accounts.
Importante, né? Porque muita gente acaba perdendo o celular ou sendo roubado e todos os dados.
With one of the world's most advanced security infrastructures, our products are secure by default. We strictly uphold responsible data practices, so every product we build is private by design. And we create easy-to-use privacy and security settings so you are in control. I'd like to invite Jen on stage to share some examples of how we apply these principles and make every day safer with Google.
Thanks, Sundar. We believe that protecting your privacy starts with the world's most advanced security.
Essa mulher é vice-presidente do Google Maps e foi a primeira engenheira a trabalhar no Google.
Everything we build is secure by default. Each of our products is protected with advanced AI-driven technologies. In fact, every day, Gmail automatically blocks more than 100 million phishing attempts. Google Photos encrypts 4 billion photos. And Google Play Protect runs security scans on 100 billion installed apps around the world. But the single most common security vulnerability today is still bad passwords. Consumer research has shown that 2/3 of people admit to using the same password across accounts, which multiplies their risk.
Eu já parei de fazer isso só porque o Google gera
we're on
senha
a mission to
automática
create
e
a
salva.
password-free future.
Isso aí já é uma
That's why
facilidade
no
gigante.
one is doing more than we are to advance phone-based authentication.
2/3 da
And in the
população usa a mesma
We're
senha.
focused on helping everyone use
Senha
strong,
1, 2, 3.
unique passwords for every account.
O problema é até a mesma
Password
senha, a mesma
Manager
senha segura, porque
creates,
se ela vaza aí,
remembers,
já era.
saves, and autofills passwords for you.
É,
It's
isso é
already
muito
used by
bom.
over 500 million people.
E ele entende,
But we
quando é
want to
8
free
caracteres
everyone from
numéricos no
password
site, ele
pain.
entende e gera certinho, sabe?
That's why
Muito
today we're announcing 4 new upgrades that make our Password Manager more helpful. First, we're making it easier than ever to get started with a simple tool that imports passwords saved in other password managers.
Interessante isso aí.
Next, we'll have deeper integration across both Chrome and Android, so your secure passwords go with you from sites to apps. Third, automatic password alerts will let you know if we detect any of your saved passwords have become compromised in a third-party breach.
Está alertando um monte de senha no ambiente de
what I'm
dev, ele
especially
fica lá.
excited
Sua
about,
senha de
a
dev
quick
não está
fix feature
segura.
in
É
Chrome,
localhost, meu
where the
filho, deixa
assistant
minha
will help
senha.
you navigate
2, 3,
directly to
4
your
no
compromised
localhost.
accounts and change your passwords in seconds. Our continued investment in our
Trocar
password manager
senha
makes it
é
just one of the
louco, hein?
many ways Google is the safer way to sign into anything online. Another core principle is ensuring that each of our products is private by design.
Private by design.
This means continuously making thoughtful decisions about when, how, and why data is used in our products,
Ele mudou bastante os
including data that's
protocolos
used
de
for
share.
ads.
Quando você dá share, você tem que modificar
Our principles
explicitamente.
drive us to draw a strict line between what's in and what's out. For example, we never
Dá uma
sell your
baixadinha
personal
aqui só para quando a
information
gente
to
falar,
anyone.
a nossa voz ficar um pouco mais
We
alta.
never use the
Pode
content
ser.
you store in apps
Só
like
se ficou baixo
Gmail,
demais, vocês
Photos, and
avisem,
Drive
tá? Por
for ads
favor.
purposes. And we never use sensitive information to personalize ads, like health, race, religion, or sexual orientation. It's simply off limits. And while we've always believed that ads play an important role in supporting a free and open web for everyone, we're equally committed
dá pra
to
aumentar
making the
pouco.
web more private and secure. Through the Open Source Privacy Sandbox initiative, we're collaborating with publishers, content creators, advertisers, and industry organizations like the W3C to develop new privacy-preserving solutions that will shape the
Isso é
future
mais
of
ou
online
menos
advertising.
assim. A galera é meio brava, eles estão mudando para
Making our
parte
products private by
cookie e
design
tal.
also drives us to build groundbreaking computing
A galera não está
technologies
concordando muito com
that
essa
enable
mudança no
personalized
gerenciamento de cookies
experiences
aí dos sites
while
e tal,
protecting your
dos
private
terceiros.
information. One technology we've been
Essa
pioneering is
discussão é muito
differential
maior,
privacy,
né?
which allows us to use
eles vão tentar
large
impor
aggregated data sets
padrão aí nessa
while
parte
guaranteeing that
de
your
navegador
individual
e vai ser
data
pouco
can never
difícil.
be identified as yours. No one has scaled the use of differential privacy more than we have. To help developers everywhere use differential privacy, we created the world's largest open source library of differentially private algorithms, which has advanced so many important fields, from cancer research to census analytics. Another important technology is federated learning, invented here at Google in 2016. It enables machine learning models to be trained centrally without any raw data leaving your device. And since building it into Gboard and messages, we've saved people
Isso é muito
countless hours of
importante.
typing
O dado parar de sair.
suggestions.
O dado parar de
This is
sair
just
para
one of the
treinar, né?
ways we build for privacy everywhere that computing happens, both in the cloud and on device. And speaking of devices, to make billions of Android phones private by design, we developed Android's private compute core. It's
O grande
uniquely
lance é
open
como é que eles
source
garantem,
and
né, que o
designed to
dado não sai do
privately process and
dispositivo
protect
mesmo e que eles
sensitive
não
data.
estão pegando os
It
dados.
powers features like live
Ah, daria
captioning
para fazer um teste,
without
né?
sharing
Do que
audio
tá
data with
sendo
Google or
snifando
any
a
other
rede.
apps.
Os caras
No one
fizeram
else
e
offers
até
this kind of
o Google
technically
offline,
enforced,
tudo
verifiable
desligado,
privacy.
e ainda consegue gerar
And the
evento
Android team will be coming up in a bit to
online.
share more.
Puts.
These are just a few of the ways we're building the most advanced privacy-preserving technologies into our products to keep your data private,
Oi, Mídio.
safe,
Caraca, quanta
and
coisa
secure.
louca. Galera, comentem aí o que vocês estão achando.
We know that a big part of feeling safe online
Ainda falta
is
bastante
having
coisa.
control over your data. Privacy is personal. So we build powerful
Essa questão
privacy and
de you are
security
in
settings
control
that let
também
people
é
choose
bem
what's right
relativo,
for them.
né?
You
Tem
can
muita
find them in your
discussão
Google
por trás
account,
disso.
which saw over 3 billion visits last year. We also know that some controls are most helpful when they're built right into the app, like when we added an incognito mode in Search, Maps, and YouTube. Today, we're announcing a few new controls that you'll see in our most popular apps.
Vamos ver.
For example, people tell us they sometimes wish they could easily delete the last thing they searched. And we heard you. So now, just tap your profile picture to access your menu and immediately delete recent search history from your account.
Deletar os últimos 15 minutos.
We're also working to make privacy controls more accessible in Maps.
É louco isso, porque
Now, when you see places you
as
visited in
pessoas
your
não vê nada.
timeline,
Você digita no
we'll remind
Google
you
lá,
that
né?
it's because you turned
Você
on
começa a
location
digitar só a
history,
suggestion do
which you
Google,
can
você
easily turn
já
off right there on your timeline.
consegue saber tudo que a
And lastly, we're
humanidade
rolling out
pensa sem a
lock folder
humanidade
and
te dizer.
photos. First on Google Pixels and coming to more Android devices throughout the year.
Look at folder.
Photos you add to this passcode protected space are saved separately, so they won't show up as you scroll through
Drive
Google Photos
com
or any
digital.
other apps on your device.
Locked folder é interessante.
This feature would have been helpful for me last year when we surprised our kids with a new puppy, and we needed to hide the photos before we brought Splash home.
O pessoal comentou que tá com
said,
dificuldade de
there's
acompanhar a
nothing more
gente.
important than
No
keeping
final,
you
a gente
safe
vai
online.
comentar um pouquinho e na sexta-feira a gente vai fazer
Building
uma live às
products that are
20h30
secure by
só para
default,
comentar todas as
private
novidades,
by
tá bom?
design,
Sim.
and that give you control
Do
is how we
live,
ensure
pegar o
that
que eles estão
every day
falando
you're safer with Google.
É.
Acho que é captando a
Just as we've
mensagem, né? Em
engineered
relação à
advanced computing
segurança, acho que
solutions to protect your
as
privacy,
ferramentas, acho que é meio
we
que não,
continue to think about
não
future
focar tanto no que
advances
ela
in
está
AI
falando, mas nas
and their
ferramentas que está
potential for making our
apresentando.
products even more helpful.
Exatamente.
Not surprisingly, so much of what we do starts with
Essa
search.
apresentação,
And next,
eu
you'll
acho que
hear
é
more
das
about this
2
from
às 3 e pouco, né?
É, tá marcado no site das 2 às 4, e depois tem 15 minutos de intervalo, e aí vem Developer Keynotes.
Vai ser 2 horas. 2 horinhas, pessoal.
Mas deve ter um intervalo em algum momento.
Lá não teve, quando eu tava lá.
Ah, é?
É. Não sei se vai ter
Online
aqui,
é
né?
non-stop, né? Só vai. Tem tempo nisso.
Sim.
Mas com certeza isso é gravado, né?
Thanks,
Acho que
Jen.
não.
Tá live
Today,
ali,
we're
né?
excited to share how our
Um cara
advances
de
in AI
gravado tá muito
are
perfeitinho
enabling
o
us
design,
to
sabe?
understand the
Não,
world
mas
more
presencialmente
deeply
é
than ever
incrível.
before.
Presencialmente, assim,
Helpful
é surreal. Eles
experiences
são
for you
muito bem treinadinhos,
across
cara,
Google
de verdade.
Search, Maps, Shopping, and Photos. Let's start with search. 20 years ago, Google was just 10 blue links, connecting people to the information they needed from the millions of web
Gente, só pra vocês
pages out
saberem,
there.
esse cara é vice-presidente
Since then,
também da Google,
We've continued to
responsável
innovate
pelo
to
Search,
understand new
Assistant,
forms of
Ads,
information
Commerce
like
e Payments.
images,
Só
videos,
isso.
places,
Tá sempre.
and more.
Só.
All
Esse
of
cara aí
this is in
tá
pursuit of our
sobrando
mission
tempo.
to make
Passar uns
information
fila pra ele.
accessible and useful. As Sundar mentioned, early research with Lambda and multimodality is pushing the boundaries of natural language understanding. And today, I'm excited to share how we'll be bringing some of these research advances to Google Search with a multitask unified model, or MUM, as we like to call it. Like BERT, it's built on the transformer architecture, but it turns up the dial. You see, MUM is 1,000 times more powerful than BERT. But what makes this technology
Não sei quão
groundbreaking
poderoso o Burt
is
é,
its
mas
ability
mil
to
vezes
multitask in
mais,
order to
né? Então,
unlock information in new ways.
poderoso.
Here are a few tasks it can handle at the same time. It can acquire deep knowledge of the world. It can understand language and generate it too.
O Wagner falou que tá surpreso com a
It can
legenda.
train
Gente,
across 75
em
languages
tempo
at
real,
once,
tinha uma
unlike
televisão
most AI
com
models,
legenda e eles
which train
falando.
on one language at a time.
É surreal. Imagina
And
você
then, what
pessoalmente
makes MUM even
lendo
more
o que a galera tá
amazing
falando.
is that it's multimodal, which means it can simultaneously understand different forms
Eu
of
quero ouvir
information,
em português.
like
O áudio tem que sair na voz
images, and
dele em
video.
português. Sem isso, menos que isso, eu já
We've
tô...
already started some internal pilots to see the types of queries it might be able to
Pesadinho
solve
demais, Paulo.
and
Calma,
the billions of
calma.
topics it might help you
Eu tô
explore.
em 2030.
Let me show you what I mean.
Cyberpunk.
Let's say you're an avid hiker planning your next adventure. You might ask, I've hiked Mount Adams, now want to hike Mount Fuji next fall. What should I do differently to prepare? This is a question you could casually ask a friend, but search engines today can't answer it directly because it's so conversational and nuanced. Mom is changing the game. With its language understanding capabilities,
mom, né?
it would know you're
Mom
looking
is
to
changing
compare
the
two
game.
mountains, and also understand that prepare could
Nossa,
include
traduzem
things like
aí, meu
fitness
povo.
training
Lá,
for
tranquilo.
terrain
Vira a tradução
and hiking
simultânea
gear
do
for
Oscar.
fall
Lá.
weather. Then, it's able to surface useful insights based on its deep knowledge of the world. Here, it's highlighting that Mount Fuji is roughly the same elevation as Mount Adams, but fall is the rainy season on Mount Fuji, so you might need a waterproof jacket. It would also give you pointers to go deeper on topics, like how to prepare the right gear with articles, videos, and images from across the web. Now, a huge limitation of accessing information is the language it's written in. If there are insights about Mount Fuji in Japanese, you might not know they exist if you don't search in Japanese.
Exato.
But Mom can transfer language across multiple languages to give you a richer, more comprehensive answer. But it doesn't stop there. Because Mom is multimodal, it can understand different types of information simultaneously. So now imagine taking a photo of your hiking boots and asking, can I use these to hike Mount Fuji?
Nossa, isso é louco. Eu posso usar essas botas na trilha?
Let you know that your hiking boots would just work fine, and then point you to a list of recommended gear in a Mount Fuji blog.
Caraca!
Olha só.
Você não bate palma, Paulo? Que isso? Que feio.
While we're in the early days of exploring this new technology, we're excited about its potential to solve more complex questions, no matter how you
que da hora.
ask. But we're already finding other ways to apply AI to bring you new information. Take Google Lens, which lets you search what you see from your camera, your photos, right from your search bar. Around
Google
the world,
Lens é
people use
sensacional,
Lens to
gente.
translate over 1 billion words every day.
O Google Lens é um botãozinho que fica na câmera, é ridículo. Você clica.
Não, mas ele é um app. Ele é um app isolado. Não sei se você...
Ele é um app isolado também, só que o grande sacada dele tá na câmera do Android.
Mas eles têm que integrar com o restante. Ele é muito poderoso. Baita app de visão computacional.
You can easily snap a photo of a science problem, and Lens will provide learning resources in your preferred language. Let's take a look at how a student in Indonesia is using this new feature.
Vamos ver, na Indonésia, como é que eles estão usando o Google Lens.
Nama aku Siti Lutisa, dipanggil Mamai. Aku kelas 9 SMP. Tentunya aku ingin menjadi ahli bahasa dan seorang dosen bahasa Inggris. Tapi kegiatan belajar di masa pandemi ini untuk aku sendiri agak lebih susah. Orang tuaku juga tidak bisa bahasa Inggris. Jadi, mereka tidak bisa bantu aku kalau kesulitan. Dia tanya ke orang, ibu kurang paham.
Louco, isso é uma cultura. Cara.
Google Lens memudahkan kegiatan belajar di rumah. Misalnya aku mendapat tugas pelajaran matematik yang bertuliskan bahasa Inggris. Gak hanya translate, dari situ aku juga bisa terhubung dan langsung mencari tahu apa terjemahan dan solusi untuk mengerjakan pelajaran matematika itu.
Mas ele já faz.
Ah, beleza, mas só ver a aplicação.
Não, é sensacional. Tô dizendo porque vai que a galera acha que isso é lançamento. Não, gente, o Google Lens já tá aí.
Untuk membantu masyarakat.
É uma era.
Saya mau jadi anak yang membanggakan orang tua.
Iya, senang. Ibu senang sekali belajar tidak pantang menyerah gitu.
It's always inspiring to see stories like Mamai's. And it brings to life the power of visual information, especially for learning. That's why we brought augmented reality to search 2 years ago.
Chegou a parte que você queria.
To help you explore concepts visually up close and in your space. You might remember the shark that joined us on stage. Last year, when many of us first started sheltering in place, families around the world found joy in AR. From tigers to cars, people interacted with this feature more than 200 million times. Now, we're bringing some of the world's best athletes to AR, so you can see how they perform some of their
Eu vi isso.
Right
Eu fui pesquisar um gato que eu queria ter e tinha view em 3D. Eu falei, nossa, não acredito. Eu tinha um gato na minha casa assim.
Or how Naomi Osaka pulls off
Cara,
125 miles
preciso contar. No Google I/O 2019, eles tinham isso em todo o ambiente do complexo do I/O. Você podia usar o AR deles no app. Muito da hora.
To the AR version of herself.
Visualizar, nossa, isso aí é...
Tem muita aplicação legal para isso.
E aplicação dentro do Google, dentro da pesquisa, o pessoal já faz, então insere no dia a dia, que é o mais importante, é inserir no dia a dia.
Essa sempre foi o maior desafio do AR, né? Achar uma utilidade no dia a dia e inserir no dia a dia das pessoas.
E não precisar instalar o app para rodar.
Oh my
God. Instalar app.
Olha isso, cara.
This is very accurate.
On demand,
I see all the details that I need to get back in the gym and work on.
Essa ginasta é maravilhosa.
Mobile's double dismount. Pops up anywhere.
Wow, look at that.
Let's turn her so we can see it.
Que da hora.
It sounds just like you're in the arena.
Go down to 5%, little one.
Oh, itsy bitsy bios. That's a small stroke
Ela
of blood I've
pequenininha.
We need to start competing in AR. It's much simpler. Saves the nerves.
Da hora, hein?
Se você fizer pesquisa, visualizar em 3D.
No matter how many times I see that, I still think it's pretty incredible. Innovations like MOM, Lens, and AR are part of our quest to make information more helpful. But information is only helpful if it's trustworthy and reliable. The world is constantly changing. Getting access to reliable information is particularly critical during times like the pandemic or breaking news. It's in these moments and so many others that people turn to Google. At our foundation, we design our ranking systems to prioritize high-quality content. And for critical topics like COVID, we elevate information from expert sources. People come to Google to evaluate claims they've heard, whether that's in conversations with friends or something they read about online. Over the past year, searches for, is it true that, were even higher than how to bake bread. And that's saying something, given last year's sourdough craze. We're building features that make it easier for you to evaluate the credibility of information right in Google search. One of the ways we're doing this is with About This Result, a feature we launched earlier this year that makes it easier to check the source. Just tap the 3 dots next to the search result to see the details about the website, including its description, when it was first indexed, and whether your connection to the site is secure.
Samuel comentou, imagina você comprar móvel para ele fica na sua casa. Hoje até tem, são ótimos para modelar, né? Imagina se ele pega as imagens 2D da loja, gera um modelo 3D, quando faz a pesquisa no shopping, ele coloca em 3D.
And later this year, we're going to add even more detail, like how the site describes itself, what other sources are saying about it, and related articles to check out. This is part of our ongoing commitment to provide you with the highest quality of results and help you evaluate information online.
Eu queria comentar pouquinho disso.
When we understand information, we can make it more helpful to you, whether that be information on the web, from your camera, or from the billions of places in the physical world. And to hear more about how AI is powering our most helpful map ever, here's Liz.
Liz, quem é Liz? A Liz é...
Thanks, Prabhakar. We're constantly working on new features to make maps more helpful
É senior
for the more than 1
vice-presidente
billion
também.
of you who use it every month.
Qual que é a área dela?
Advances in
de
AI
coisa.
are helping us reimagine what a map can be.
Deixa eu entender
This
aqui.
year alone, we're on track to release more than 100 AI-driven improvements to give people richer and more contextual information about the world around them. Let me share just a few examples. We've seen how helpful AR can be to see how athletes perform their most impressive feats.
Qual que é o sobrenome dela
3
mesmo?
years
Perdi.
ago, with
Rage,
Live View and Google Maps,
R-A-I-D.
we were the first
Rage.
ones to use AR at scale to help see where to go, with signs and arrows overlaid on the real world.
Deixa eu ver se é ela.
Today, we're still the only company who has AR navigation and maps in more than 100 countries.
Ela é vice-presidente de
from big cities
engenharia
to
do
rural
Google
towns.
há 17 anos.
So far, though, Live View has
Tranquilo.
been focused on
sei.
navigation to help you easily
Só.
get
Tá com
from
tempo
point A
também.
to point B.
É de
But
Geo
now
e
you can
Maps.
also use it to
Principalmente
explore the
focado em
world
Geo e
around
Maps.
you. You'll be able to access Live View right from the map and instantly see details about the shops and the restaurants around you, including how busy they are, recent reviews, and photos of those popular
Esse
dishes.
é o grande potencial, que eles já
This is
falaram faz
possible
um
because
tempo,
we
mas até
map
agora...
what
já,
you see,
exato.
with millions of businesses sharing rich
Eles
information on
liberaram
Google
primeiro pro
Maps.
Pixel, né?
In addition, there are a host of new features coming to Live View later this year. First, we're adding prominent virtual
Later
street
this
signs to help
year,
you
né?
navigate
Mas eu
those
ainda não
complex
entendi por que
intersections.
não tava no ar,
Second,
assim, pra todo
we'll point you
mundo.
towards key
Eles só tinham liberado pro
landmarks
Pixel.
and places that are
Acho que
important
ele
for
deve
you,
ter
like the
coletar uns
direction of your
dados e tal,
hotel.
né?
É, agora devem estar
Third, we're bringing
aprimorando,
it
né?
indoors to
Anunciando essas
help you get
melhorias que vão
around some of
lançar
the
aí.
hardest to
Mas
navigate
foi algo
buildings,
interessante, porque na
like
época
airports,
eles
transit
estavam
stations,
muito
and
preocupados com as
malls.
pessoas olhando pro celular e caírem,
Indoor
sabe?
Live
Tipo,
View
se
will start rolling
machucarem.
out in top train stations and airports in Zurich
Eles
this week
mostraram bastante essa
and will come
preocupação.
to Tokyo next month.
Ó, Japão aí, próximo mês, né? Então é uma parada que vai
But
rolar
AR
aí
isn't the only way we're
localidades
bringing a whole
específicas
new
ao
level
longo
of
dos próximos
richness to
meses,
Google
né?
Maps.
É o que a gente chama de
We've
rollout,
heard from many
galera.
of you that you'd like to
Rollout
have more
regional,
granular
no caso.
information about your
Falei isso lá no
surroundings.
meu Insta um dia.
That's why we're bringing you the most
Estratégias de
detailed street
rollout.
maps we've ever made. Take this image of Columbus Circle, one of the most complicated intersections in Manhattan. You can now see where the sidewalks, the crosswalks, the pedestrian islands are. Something that might be
Nossa, me lembrou
incredibly helpful if you're
muito
taking young
Cities
children out on
Skyline,
a
o
walk,
jogo.
or
Você tá
absolutely essential
aumentando
if you're
suas
using a
ruas,
wheelchair.
assim, mexendo semáforo.
Thanks to our
Não sei se alguém
application
no
of
chat aí já
advanced AI
jogou Cities
technology
Skyline.
on road, street view, and aerial imagery, we're on track to launch detailed street
Exato,
maps in
Goito. Imagina
50
você anda
new
na
cities
rua,
by
né,
the
com o
end of the
celular
year.
ali, tipo, no Brasil, você vai ser
Having
roubado.
access to rich information is useful, but it can
Tem que
also
ser no
become
óculos, mas
overwhelming.
aí os caras abandonaram o Google
So we're
Glass,
making the
né?
map more dynamic and more tailored,
É,
highlighting the most
tem muita
relevant
coisa pra
information
evoluir ainda.
exactly when you
Mas
need
a
it.
tecnologia tá...
If it's 8 a.m. on a weekday, we'll
Aí.
display the
Tem
coffee
serve
shops
também, a
and
galera
bakeries
comentou
more
que
prominently in the map.
Oi?
sim, né? O
Well, at
pessoal
5
comentou
p.m.,
que o
we'll
Skyline
highlight
é
the
muito
dinner
massa, mas
restaurants that
suga a
match your
vida que é uma
tastes.
beleza.
You can see which places you've been
No
to
Sin
and get
City é a
more
mesma
suggestions
pegada,
for
né?
similar
O Sin
spots
City já
with
vai.
just a single tap. And if you're in a new city, we'll make it easier to find those local landmarks and tourist attractions right on the map. You'll start seeing this more tailored map in the coming weeks.
O Google Maps é uma ferramenta
And as you're
cada
planning
vez
your
mais
day,
integrada com o
people have
universo,
found
né?
it really useful, especially during this pandemic, to see how busy a place is before heading out.
Isso é
Now we're
importante.
expanding this capability from specific places, like restaurants and shops, to neighborhoods with the feature called area
Nossa!
busyness.
Deixa eu ver como é que essa
Say you're in
vizinhança
Rome
tá
and want
antes
to
de eu
head
ir.
over to the
É
Spanish
muita
Steps
gente, eu
and
tô
its
bem
nearby
tranquilo.
shops. With area busyness, you'll be able to understand at a glance
Easier
what's
than
the right
usual.
time
Oh,
for you to
isso
go,
é muito
based
legal.
on how busy that part of the city is in real time.
Deixa eu ver como é que tá o Ibira,
And
pra ver
as
se
you
eu vou
heard
lá, vai ter 1 milhão de
before, we
Pensa
pessoas.
use
até no momento de
industry-leading
pandemia.
differential
Olha
privacy
que
techniques
que
to protect
doideira.
anonymity in this feature. Area busyness will roll out globally in the coming months.
Privacy
So
techniques
that was
to
a lot.
protect.
To recap, we are expanding our live view capabilities, making maps more detailed and tailored, and showing you how busy certain areas are to help you
Cara,
make
isso é
sense of the world
muito
all
louco.
around you.
Eu gostei do Live View
All of this
Expansion
is possible
e
because of
Area
our deep
Business.
commitment for over
Business.
Eu
16
gostei do,
years
acho que o Area
to build the
Business pra
world's
mim
most
é
helpful map
top
for
feature
people
aí. Live
everywhere.
View eu quero ver, porque vai ser lugar de
That means
eu
mapping
quero ver
roads
isso na
across more than
prática.
60 million kilometers, listing more
Vai
than
ter
a
muito
billion buildings,
treta ainda pra colocar isso
creating
em
a community
produção
of
real,
over
assim.
150 million local guides. And finally,
Eu sou local guide,
applying the most
faço parte
advanced AI
dessa comunidade
technology.
aí.
All so you can have the most accurate, comprehensive, and
Eu
detailed
recebi
map
uma meia do Google,
wherever you live in the
que eu
world,
atingi
on
X
any
pontos no local
device,
guides.
Android or iOS.
Eles amam presentear as pessoas com meias.
Access to rich information is crucial, whether you're exploring a new neighborhood or trying to get things done. And over the past year, that's increasingly meant turning to Google to help you shop. To tell you more about how we're making it easier to shop online, from inspiration to action, here's Bill.
Bill. Qual o sobrenome do cara?
Thanks, Liz. You've already heard how we're innovating to understand information and make it more helpful for you. We're doing this in a big way for shopping. More than 1 billion times a day, people are shopping across Google. And we're constantly working to make that experience better, whether you're browsing for inspiration or ready to buy.
Ele era o Global Head da PayPal.
Let's talk about all the ways we're innovating in shopping. Many of you are familiar with our knowledge graph, which revolutionized structured information about people, places, and things. We're now introducing the shopping graph, our most comprehensive data set for billions of products and the merchants that sell them.
Ele é presidente de Commerce e Payments e Next
graph,
Billion
the shopping
Users.
Graph brings together information from websites, prices, reviews, videos, and most importantly,
ele foi diretor de operações da PayPal.
We receive from brands and retailers directly.
PayPal cofundada aí pelo Elon Musk.
Because the shopping graph knows about so many
Ele e mais uma galerinha, né?
products,
Monte de gente que deu certo aí.
listings to buy those items from millions of merchants across the web, helping you find more of what you're looking for from a broader range of sellers, and giving you just as much or more choice in the digital world as you have in the physical
Nossa, eles só chamaram presida
The
só.
best part is
Dessa
that the
vez,
shopping graph
VP
spans across
presida.
Google, making it easier to go from
fazer o
inspiration
keynote.
to purchase, no matter where you are. Let's see how this comes to life across shopping moments, from Lens to search, photos, YouTube, and Chrome.
O YouTube, esse logo.
As we all know, shopping inspiration often strikes when we see something we like in the world around us. And for these moments, Google Lens is awesome. It turns the world into your own personal showroom. For example, I was eating outside at a restaurant recently and really liked the patio front. So I opened my Google app, and right from the search bar, I could use Lens to find the exact set I was looking for. And
Isso é um negócio que os caras também falam faz um tempo.
Ah, mas isso já funcionava, já, eu já usei com roupa.
We did a bit more browsing
Queria essa roupa aqui.
starting with the Google Images tab on search.
Vamos cada vez
We see
comprar
hundreds
mais
of millions
coisas
of shopping searches
ao redor,
each
né?
month.
Que é Thaíssa, brinca
Thanks
muito
to
com
the
esse
shopping
vídeo.
graph, we could explore options from across the web to find what we liked, see that it was in
Estou
stock,
adorando
and
a
check out with the
participação do Bom
retailer.
Giorno. O Bom Giorno tá muito
I have
feliz
this habit,
de
though.
ser
I'm constantly taking
percebido.
screenshots of products I like, but they usually end up buried in my photos. Here's one I've saved for a pair of sneakers I saw. But now, to solve for this, when you view any screenshots in Google Photos, there'll be a suggestion to search the photo with Lens. You'll see organic search results that can help you find that pair of shoes or browse similar styles.
E que os caras falam bastante
Then, once you have ideas, you
também,
probably
né?
want to do some research and might end up on YouTube. Earlier this
Pesquisar
year,
coisas que estão
we
em
shared that we're
vídeo
building
e
a
tal.
new experience to make it easier to shop products you learn about from your favorite YouTube creators.
Nossa, isso aí é legal.
That experience
Isso,
is in
o Insta
pilot
já
now,
faz
so
bem
stay
isso,
tuned
né?
for updates.
Você pega uma foto, por exemplo...
And
Não,
since we're
você
talking
põe...
about researching, I don't know about you,
Acho que não, acho
but
que
I
tem que
often
taguear.
jump around from site to site when
Acho que tem
I'm
que
comparing
taguear.
products. And if I get distracted
Você põe
or
uma
closing
foto e
tabs,
um vídeo e
it
ele
can be hard
tagueia
to
no
keep
Insta,
track
né?
of items I've
Quer dizer,
found.
você tagueia no Insta.
Soon on Chrome, when you open a new tab, you'll be able to see your open carts from the past couple of weeks. For example,
Capitalism
I'm
approves.
reminded that I've still got a
Só
shirt
isso,
in my chemistry
Fernandes.
cart and a few things in my Lowe's cart.
Mas é assim, é
We'll
uma
also find you
estratégia
promotions and
geral, né,
discounts
gente?
for
Não
your
é só
open
do
carts
Google, não.
if you choose to opt in.
A Amazon também tá fazendo isso com
Here,
os
I can
filmes,
see
né?
Electronic Express is
Amazon
offering
Prime,
10% off.
conectando com o Amazon
Your
Commerce
personal
e Commerce.
information and what's in your carts are never shared with anyone externally without your permission.
Michael!
Now, once you're done researching and are ready to buy, we also want to help you get the best value. Coming soon, we'll use your favorite loyalty programs from merchants like Sephora and Target to show you the best purchase options. In this example, since you're a Sephora Beauty Insider,
Medo e alegria,
you
tudo
already
junto.
qualify for a promotion.
É isso aí, gente. Keynote do Google é assim. Medo e alegria.
Taking a step back, these experiences are only possible because of our vibrant community of retailers on Google. We're proud to take an open ecosystem approach that helps any merchant, both big and small, get discovered. And that gives you more shopping choices. This has been more important than ever in what's been a tough time for businesses. That's why this past year, we accelerated our plans and made it free for
Todos
merchants
os
to sell
I.O.s que
their
eu
products
participei
across Google.
e que eu assisti, eles
Since
quase
then,
não
we've
falavam
seen
do
an
YouTube, nunca.
80% increase in
Porque
merchants
tem
on
outro
Google,
evento, né,
with
para
the
falar
vast
das
majority
novidades
being
do
small
YouTube.
and medium-sized businesses.
E Cloud
And
também,
today,
bem pouquinho, porque
we're
tem o
making it
Cloud
easier
Next,
than ever for merchants
Cloud
of all
Next. Eu ia
sizes
falar
to
Cloud
get
Next
on
Extended,
Google.
mas não.
Together with Shopify, we're excited to launch a seamless integration so that the more than 1.7 million merchants on Shopify can reach more consumers in a matter of
Não
minutes.
sabia que eles tinham parceria com o Shopify.
With just a few clicks, these retailers can sign up to appear across Google's 1 billion shopping journeys each day. From search to maps, images to lens, and YouTube. We believe you deserve the most choice available, and will continue to innovate on shopping along every step of the way. So far, you've heard many of the ways we're using AI to make information more useful for you. AI can also help us revisit
agora
our
eles
favorite
entram
memories
aí
and
no
moments,
mercado concorrendo com a
especially this
Amazon, hein?
past year when many of us have been feeling nostalgic. To talk about new
Vamos
innovations
criar
in Google
uma
Photos,
e-commerce? Não,
here's
vamos
Shimmery.
fazer parceria com uma grande já.
Eles já estão concorrendo bastante com a Amazon na parte de nuvem agora, né? Então, outras áreas para competir.
To be back on campus, talking with you all about Google Photos.
É que no caso a Amazon AWS é muito separada da Amazon e-commerce, né? A estratégia da Amazon e-commerce é bem separada, sim. Google Fotos. Quem que é essa mulher? Eu não peguei o nome dela.
Peguei também, galera do chat aí pegou?
Quem do chat pegou o nome dela?
But having so many photos of loved ones, screenshots, selfies, all stored together, makes it hard to rediscover the
Print alguma coisa.
In fact, the vast
Vê se já é
majority of
suficiente.
photos in Google Photos are never viewed. And
Tem
we've
no
heard
Google
from you
Lens.
how
Será que o
powerful
Google
it
Lens
is
reconhece
to rediscover a
pessoas
memory
desse jeito? Acho
that
que não.
helps you tell your story
Mas ele
in real time.
reconhece qual é a raça de um cachorro ou de
So
um
today,
animal que
I want to
seja.
show you new features that use AI
Opa,
to
obrigada.
resurface
Nossa, deve ser um
meaningful
nome
moments
israelense.
and bring your memories to life,
Bin
all while
Yair.
giving you more control so you can choose what you want to relive. Soon, we're launching a new way to look back that we're calling
Muito obrigada, chat.
Little
Vocês são
Patterns.
maravilhosos.
Little patterns show the
Vamos
magic
ver
in
quem ela
everyday
é.
moments by
Vice-presidente do
identifying
Google
not so obvious
Fotos.
moments
Schmidt Beneyer.
and resurfacing them to you. I'll show you how this works.
Mas esse nome é muito
This
israelense.
feature uses machine learning
muito
to
judeu.
translate photos into a series of numbers.
Olha, ela era
and then compares
diretora
how visually
senior
or
de
conceptually
gestão de
similar
produto
these
do
images
YouTube
are.
antes.
When
Tá em
we
casa,
find
tá em
a
casa.
set of 3
Liga
or
junto.
more photos with similarities such as shape or color, we'll surface them as a pattern.
E ela fez estágio na Apple.
When we started testing little patterns, we saw some
Tranquilo
great
também.
stories come to life.
Olha
Like
só.
how one of our engineers traveled
Ela
the
se
world
formou
with
em
their
ciência da
favorite
computação em
orange
Tel Aviv, Israel.
or how our product manager,
Tava
Christy,
certo, tava certo,
had a
tava
habit of
certo. Ela é
capturing
israelense,
objects of
provavelmente.
similar shape and color. Or for me, I received a pattern of my family hanging out on the couch over the years. We have so many fun memories there, but I didn't realize how many
Então,
pics I'd
Tecna,
snapped until
o
I saw
Bill,
this.
ele é presidente de e-commerce e
These
payments.
photos on their own
O que
wouldn't
falou ali do
necessarily be
Google
meaningful,
Shopping.
but when they're pieced together, they tell a story that's uniquely yours. As always, these memories are privately presented to you and are only visible to your Google Photos account.
Vamos lá.
Obrigado.
In addition to using machine learning to better curate your
Obrigado.
memories, we also
Mas
want
eu
to
tô
bring
chateada
these
com o
moments
Google
to life
Fotos. Vamos ver
with
se eles vão
cutting-edge
falar alguma coisa sobre o que eles vão fazer agora no meio do
Last
ano.
year, we launched cinematic photos to help you relive your memories in a more vivid way.
Basicamente, eles utilizavam um storage diferente, né? Google Fotos e Drive. E agora eles vão unir tudo. Então você vai ter que comprar espaço, não vai ter jeito. Eu não gostei muito disso. Eu não gostei nada disso, na verdade.
Estão buscando monetizar de alguma forma, né? E eles falaram os dados que
É porque era espaço infinito, né?
Any parent who
Os
tries to
dados de
get all
consumo
their
de
kids
carbono
smiling and
pra
looking at the camera at the
armazenamento de
same
foto.
time will know what I mean.
Tipo, os caras precisam pagar essa conta, sabe?
Cinematic moments will take these near duplicate images and use neural networks to synthesize the movement between image A and image B. We interpolate the photos and fill in the gaps by creating new frames.
Isso
The
é
end
da hora.
result is a vivid, moving picture.
Cara, isso é muito da hora.
And the cool thing about
Isso é
this
bem
effect
legal.
is it can work on any pair of
Dá
images,
movimento pra
whether they were
fotos,
captured on
movimentos que não
Android,
existem.
iOS, or scanned from a photo album.
Que da hora.
Creating this effect from scratch would take professional animators hours. But by applying machine learning, we can
Ó, o
automatically
Goito.
bring this
Tem que mudar
experience
Google
right to
I.O.
your
para
gallery.
Google AI.
And we know that
exatamente
looking
isso.
back is never a one-size-fits-all solution.
Porque AI é o
It's more
futuro, não tem
meaningful
muito
when you can
jeito.
look back on
Gente,
content
tudo
that's
tem
personalized to
AI
you.
no
Não
Google.
tem jeito.
So later this year, you'll see new types of memories that are relevant to the
Tá
moments
criando
you
uma nova
celebrate. Whether that's
espécie.
Diwali,
Olha aqui,
Lunar
vocês estão
New
percebendo
Year,
essa
or
foto aí no
something
meio do
else.
menininho? Isso aí
For
é...
me,
Essa
my
daí, por sinal.
family celebrates Hanukkah.
Ah, é
So I
judeu
can
mesmo.
look back on a collection of Hanukkah moments right in my photo grid.
Hanukkah, que é a
In
festa
addition to
das
providing personalized
luzes.
content to look back on, we also want to give
Ih,
you
já me
more
perdi.
control. We heard from you that controls can be helpful for anyone who has been through a tough life event, breakup, or loss. Specifically, we heard from the transgender community that resurfacing certain photos can be painful. So we are working directly with our partners at GLAD and listening to feedback to understand how we can make reminiscing more inclusive. These insights inspired us to give you the control to hide photos of certain people or
Eles estão
time periods
tirando todo
from
o
our memories
eles
feature.
estão atentos com a causa e estão
And
trabalhando
soon,
nisso,
you'll be
né?
able
Então,
to
não é um
remove a single photo
multi-feature,
from a memory, rename
é
the
mais o
memory,
lance de
or
como que a gente
remove
faz
it
para
entirely.
apagar memórias que foram difíceis
We're
e
making
tal.
all these controls easy to find, so you can make changes in just a few taps.
E aí dá para aprender, né,
so,
com as memórias
this
que você quer
summer,
esquecer também,
You'll be
né?
able to uncover
Sem dúvida,
little
eles vão
patterns,
logar essa informação.
rediscover meaningful memories,
Vai treinar
or
o
immerse
algoritmo
yourself
para
in
Daqui a pouco,
cinematic
esquecer as
moments.
coisas que você quer esquecer.
And you
Google
can
I.O.
do
do
it
ano que
all
vem,
on
ele vai
your own
sugerir o que
terms
você
with
quer
new
remover. Você não
controls.
quer remover isso aqui, já que você terminou seu relacionamento?
Looking back is an important part
A
of the
pessoa
human
acabou de sair
experience,
de casa
which
do
is why
término
Google
e já
Photos
fala
is
assim,
making it
quer
easier than
apertar
ever
home, um
to
botão para
relive
apertar
your
para
memories.
Excluir todas as fotos com essa
Thank you.
pessoa?
Fala, caramba, Google, você tava ouvindo meu microfone o tempo inteiro? Eu já fiz uma análise da tua reunião de término, você nem tá ligado.
Thanks, Shambit. I'm really excited by the progress we are making with AI. As you've heard today, we're using AI to advance our understanding of information and build more helpful experiences across Google Search, Maps, Shopping, and Photos. Next, you're going to hear about
Esse é o cara
innovations
do
in our
MAM.
computing platforms. We're excited to show you all of the
É
improvements to Android
vice-presidente
12,
de 12
the
áreas.
newest release of our open platform.
Gente, tô anotando tudo aqui.
Starting with a fundamental
Depois a
change
gente
to how we
conversa.
Olha
experience
só,
it.
Android 12,
I'll hand it
finalmente.
off to Matthias to give you a look.
Vamos ver.
Gente, apesar da gente gostar de várias tecnologias, nós somos devs Android, tá? Nós estamos muito animados com tudo que vai ter de novo para Android.
Esse redesign eu quero ver.
Eu quero Jetpack Compose, é isso que eu quero saber, entendeu? Só no Developer Keynote, só.
É, para entrar no detalhe do mundo dev, daqui a pouquinho, né?
From the beginning, design has made computers more helpful by
Cara,
making them
que
easier to use, more
estilosíssimo.
personal.
Meus parabéns,
In
Matheus.
2014, we
Ele é
introduced
vice-presidente de
material
Material
design
Design.
to address the explosion of mobile phones. It set a new
2014, Material
standard for
Design,
Android
também.
apps. And for Google, it rationalized our products simply and beautifully.
A aquisição do Android ainda como startup, antes do
Now we're
lançamento,
at a moment where
uma sacada
computers are
absurda.
showing up in places that we never imagined. It's also a moment where people are
Cara, essa
yearning to
galera que
express
coda,
their
que
individuality
define, né,
and demanding
o Material
control from their
Design,
technology.
eles influenciam, tipo, o comportamento
We
das
believe
pessoas.
this
É
is a
muito
challenge
incrível.
for the whole industry.
E
To
facilita a
acknowledge
vida,
that
né?
emotion is essential and that beauty is personal. To face this challenge, we had to question
Comentário do Goito.
Instead of form following function,
Um dia eu vou me vestir
form
assim,
followed feeling.
igual os posts
Instead
da
of
pela da minha
Google
mãe.
Blue,
Exatamente o que
we
parece. Cara,
imagined
tá estilosíssimo.
material
Deixa eu dizer,
you.
10% do
A
estilo
new
desse cara, eu
design
sou um
that
homem
includes
realizado.
you as a co-creator, letting you
muito bom.
transform the look and feel of all your apps by
Eita.
generating personal material palettes.
Nossa!
Color science
Paleta
with
de
a
cores
designer's eye.
personalizadas para a pessoa.
And engineering UI
Next
apps
level,
that respond in real
next
time.
level
We
mind.
can delight every style.
A gente fica lá se matando para pensar em paleta de cor dos apps.
Every
Tá aqui
screen
agora.
and fit
Pronto,
every
calma aí.
device.
Essa paleta tá
Your
feita.
apps adapt comfortably every place you go. A new design that never compromises on accessibility, granting
que da hora.
transformative control of contrast, size, and even line
Minha
width.
nossa, forma.
Mano, eu tô arrepiado.
Every need.
Tamanho. Cara.
No longer defaulting to
O
one size
seu
fits
Fernandes
all,
mandou.
Material
Achei que
U
ia
is a
lançar
radical
stories
new
para
way to think
calculadora.
about design. We invested years into advancing UI engineering, making it possible
pensou?
for any app, not
Você
just
faz
Google,
stories das contas que
blend
você
in their
fez,
user styles
o 2+2
and
que você tá
stay
testando.
unique and beautiful.
Às vezes não link para 3.
As designers, sharing control of every pixel is terrifying. But that leap of faith is revolutionizing design across Google. For the first time, we can
Designers é muito
consider
difícil
the
liberar isso
details
pro
of devices
usuário, né?
together with the pixels on their screens. We unify everything that Google makes through common proportions, textures, and shapes. We give you tasteful choices, blending into your homes and complementing your wardrobes. More than choice, we uniquely tailor your Google products for the perfect fit.
Eita.
Beyond light and dark, a mode for every mood. These selections can travel with your account across every app and every device.
Como eu estiver me sentindo no dia, a interface vai responder, aí já...
Google Pixel this fall,
Pixel Mature
including
U.
all of your favorite Google apps. And over the following year, we will continue our vision, bringing it to the web, Chrome OS, wearables, smart displays,
Cara,
all of
que
Google's
nível, que nível
Material U is
de
a way to design
personalização.
differently. We can't wait to see what brings you joy and what you find beautiful. Next are the details of Android 12. Beyond the redesigned widgets and your material palette, Samir will show you our most personal OS ever.
Esse é o lance do pessoal, né? É o momento, é a I.O. do design pessoal.
Cara, é a era da personalização, não tem jeito.
Se você for ver, faz muito sentido, né? Como as coisas foram evoluindo e tal, né? E
Claro,
tanto
até
dados que eles têm agora pra isso, né?
Você tem recomendação de conteúdo, que é o quê? Personalização. Você tem a pessoa poder ter o controle nas mãos dela, personalização. Nada mais natural, né? Claro que tipo, não é óbvio, mas é natural a gente prosseguir para esse caminho da personalização no design, né? Mas é incrível, eu acho que vai tudo sair primeiro pro Pixel, igual nos outros anos, eu imagino.
Vamos tentar forçar um pouquinho aí, né? Porque, sei lá, talvez...
Gente, essas coisas não saem imediatamente, tá? Aí a gente tem que começar a acompanhar as redes de cada uma das tecnologias.
It's great to be back live at Google I.O.
O Pixel é o iPhone do Google.
Biggest design change to Android in years.
Basicamente.
We're going to go through all of it. But first,
compete aí com o Android e Samsung e tal,
exciting
né?
news with you. Just this week, we crossed
É um
an
Android mais
amazing
cool, digamos
milestone.
assim, também, né? Um
There are
Android
now
mais Android.
3 billion active Android
Esse é o
devices
vice-presidente do
around the
Android
world.
do Google Play.
This would never have been possible without the entire
Android
Android
é o número 1 do mundo, para quem não sabe, né? Superou o
There's
Windows,
so much more to
graças
do.
à China.
And Android 12 is one of our
O Android
most ambitious
é o número 1
releases
do mundo.
ever. There are 3 big themes that we're focused on.
Eu achei no último I.O. que a gente ia ganhar um Pixel.
Are deeply
Ganhou um Google Home de novo. Tenho 2 Google Homes.
Second,
bota um para conversar com o outro, tá
personal
safe.
information safe. The OS should be
Coloca para
secure by
conversar com o
default
Lambda.
and private by design. And third, we want all of your devices, TVs, cars, watches, and more to work better together with your phone at the center. I'm excited to show you more. So let's start by taking a look at our new UI for Android. We've overhauled everything from the lock screen to system settings, revamping the way we use color, shapes, light, and motion, inspired by Material U. Let me show you what we've done with color. We've got something new planned for Google Pixel, using what we call color extraction. Think of it as one part art and one part science.
Amanda, acabei de voltar pro iOS e já quero um Android puro.
Like if I use this picture of my kids actually getting along for once. I set it as my background, and
Voila! The system creates a custom palette based on the
Olha.
colors in my photo.
Olha. Ele cria uma paleta de cores do seu sistema baseado na foto.
We use a clustering algorithm with material color targets to determine which colors are dominant, which ones are complementary, and which ones just look great
Se pegar a foto que eu tiro, não tá
It
nesse
then
nível
applies
aí, não.
hues across different parts of the interface. In other
Paleta
words,
combinando contraste
it's
de
going
roupa.
to be beautiful. The result is a one-of-a-kind design, just for you. And you'll see it first on Google Pixel in the
Vai
fall.
pro app, isso aí é maluco.
But this new UI is more than a visual redesign. Many interactions have been simplified and system spaces purposefully reimagined. Starting from the lock screen, the design is more playful with dynamic lighting. Pick up your phone
Teve algum
and
presidente,
light
além de
from the bottom of your
vice-presidente?
screen.
Oi?
Press the
Teve
power button to wake up the
presidente,
phone
além dos
instead,
vices.
and the
O
light
Bill,
ripples out from
presidente
your
de
touch.
e-commerce. Esse é
Even
VP.
the clock is in
O
tune with you.
resto é VP, né?
When you don't have any notifications, it appears larger on the lock screen, so you know you're all caught up. The notification shade
Que
is
eu
more
identifiquei, né?
intuitive,
Pode ser que
with a
tinha
crisp,
mais, eu só não
at-a-glance
vi.
view of your app
Mas acho que não.
notifications,
E o
whatever
Sundar,
you're
né? Que é o
currently
CEO, né?
listening to or watching,
Só o
and
Sundar
quick
só.
settings that give you control over the OS with just a swipe and a tap. The quick setting space doesn't just look and feel different. It's been redesigned to include Google Pay and home controls, while still allowing for customization, so you can have everything you need right at your fingertips. And now, you can invoke the Google Assistant by long pressing the power button, making it easier than ever to harness the power of Google.
Isso não roda no Xiaomi, não.
Our engineers have done some pretty amazing work on performance in Android 12 to make all the motion and
Ai, gente,
animation
vocês são
in the UI
engraçados.
super
Isso
smooth.
aí eu acho que já tinha, né?
We greatly reduced lock contention in key
Apertar
system
esse lugar já
services
vi
such
algo
as
assim.
Activity, Window, and Package Manager. And the team also reduced the CPU time of Android system server by a whopping 22%.
Ai, gente, vocês são muito engraçados.
Basically, everything's faster. There's a
22%
lot to
de
explore in this
CPU
new
no
design,
Android novo.
and I can't wait for you all
Vamos
to
ter que
try it
lançar um
out.
monte de modelo de machine learning rodando
Now,
offline
The
agora.
design isn't the only part of the device that's personal.
Vamos ver.
Our phones hold so much
Liberamos
important information,
22%
and
do
it's
Android para
critical
usar
to keep it
22%
private
agora.
and secure. To tell you more about that, let me hand it
Qual
off to
será a
Suzanne.
regra que eles estão utilizando para fazer esse rollout? Eles falaram? Não, né? Mas entrando lá no Twitter deles ou no site, provavelmente a gente
Hi,
consegue saber.
everyone.
Vamos ver quem
From
ela
our
é.
first device
Zane
to
Frey.
3 billion today, we've designed security and privacy
O
for
rosto dela tá vontade
everyone, no matter how
de
expensive your
elasticidade, né?
device is.
Oi?
We've
Ela
built
parece muito
game-changing capabilities for
Simpática?
everyone, from
olha
file-based
a
encryption
expressão
to
facial dela, já dá
TLS
uma
by
vibração.
default and secure DNS.
Ela é vice-presidente de, de produto Android, Play, Security and
And since
Privacy.
2017, Google
Parabéns.
Pixel and Samsung Galaxy have continually received the highest security rating in Gartner's annual mobile OS comparison report.
Gente fina. Tem cara da Tiffany.
Simply put, the
Excelente.
most secure devices run on Android. And with Android 12, we're going even further to keep your information safe.
Pior que eu vou perder a palestra
Let's
hoje
start with the
de
common
What's New in
experience.
Android.
Granting an app access to
Perdeu ao
sensitive
vivo, depois vai assistir o gravado.
eu
tá?
vou ver o
turn-by-turn
replay
directions
depois.
based on your precise location are really helpful. But we recognize that this access can also raise privacy questions. To
É.
give people more transparency
Privacidade de
and
localização,
control,
né?
we've created a new privacy dashboard that shows you what type of
Privacy
data was accessed
dashboard.
and when. This dashboard
Você
reports
já
on
tem,
all
né?
the
Se
apps
você
on
olhar
your
mesmo,
phone,
consegue já pegar isso. Né?
including all of
Pelo
your
Maps dá
Google
pra saber,
apps.
né?
And
É, o
we've made
próprio
it
Google já
really
gera
easy
todas
to
essas
revoke an
informações,
app's
né?
permission directly from the dashboard. We've also added an
Esse
indicator
lance
to
de
make
você
it
ter mais
clearer when an
controle
app
tá
is
bem
using your
respondido, acho que
camera
é
or
a grande questão
microphone.
aí que eles estão
So let's
apresentando.
take that a step further. If you don't want any apps to
Amanda, agora
access
que
the
vi a camiseta
microphone or
da...
camera,
Sim, gente, foi a
even if
camiseta que
you've
eu
granted
ganhei
them
no
permission
I.O.
in the past, we've added 2 new toggles
Isso
in
é
Quick
importante,
Settings,
ó,
so
porque
you can
geralmente a
completely
galera
disable those sensors
mais
for every
usuário
app.
comum não sabe
So those are a
como
few
operar as
examples of
permissões do
privacy
app,
you can
fica muito
immediately
escondido nos
see.
settings. E a gente,
We're
como dev,
excited to
acaba
share more on
mandando
Under the
mensagem
Hood
para e a
privacy,
galera aceitou,
privacy
acabou.
that's baked into the
Ter
heart
isso
of
agora
Android.
puxando 2 dedos,
As
você puxa
machine
a parte
vision,
a barra de
speech recognition,
notificação, você já mexe
and
na
AI become increasingly
privacidade,
beneficial,
é muito bom.
There are even more
A gente até tem um
opportunities
nome
for
para
the
isso, né? A
OS to
gente é
be
tech
helpful.
savvy, né? São pessoas que
And
têm
to
uma
make it
facilidade
easier
maior
for
com
everyone to
tecnologia.
embrace these new
Mas tem muita
innovations,
gente que não tem essa
we're combining
facilidade.
cutting-edge features with powerful privacy. You heard Jen talk about the ways we're building private by design technology. Thanks to advances here,
Mas essa questão de
Android's private
privacidade aí
compute
é
core, we're able to
uma
introduce new
discussão muito grande
features
lá no Vale do
using
Silício, né?
our
Por conta
unique
dessas
AI
big techs como
capabilities, while still
Facebook,
keeping
enfim.
your personal information
E
Tudo
as
que
leis
aconteceu.
passaram lá também, lei agora no
private,
Brasil, lei na Europa,
and
né?
local to
Lei de
your
proteção
phone.
de dados está
Android's private
GDPR,
compute core enables
LGPD.
things like
tomando
now
bastante
play.
processo também, né?
Tells you what song is
Muitos.
playing in the background. And Smart Reply, which suggests responses to your chats based on your personal reply patterns. And there's more to come later this year. And by the way, all of the sensitive audio and language processing happens exclusively on your device. It's isolated from the network to preserve your privacy. And like the
Eles estão
rest of
investindo
Android,
bastante nessa
private
questão de
compute core
rodar
is
no seu
open
próprio
source.
device, né? Sem
It's
a
fully
necessidade de...
inspectable and
Passar
verifiable
pela
by the
internet, né?
security
É
community.
um baita de um ponto de
Android is the
vulnerabilidade, né?
first commercial mobile operating system to enable technically enforced privacy like this. And this is just one of the ways we'll continue to pioneer innovation
Falando
while
que é o
also
primeiro
maintaining
sistema
the highest
operacional
standards of privacy,
dispositivo a implementar esse
security,
nível de
and
controle
safety.
pela privacidade e segurança.
And there's a whole lot more for privacy and security in Android 12, which you can hear about in our What's New in Android Privacy session later today.
E aí,
Now
vai
I'll
ter uma
hand it
sessão
back to
só sobre
Samir to
privacidade
talk
hoje.
about how we're building for a multi-device world.
Interessante.
Um mundo muito positivo. Eu tô adorando essas máscaras coloridas na galera combinando também.
Thanks,
Eu queria
Suzanne.
uma também.
Phones have become the center of our digital lives, and they
O
interact
VP
with
de
a ton of
Android.
other devices we use on a day-to-day basis. Laptops, TVs, cars, and more. This next chapter of Android is focused on delightful and helpful experiences across all the devices that are connected to your phone, so that everything just works better together. Let's start by looking at how your phone works with your Chromebook. With a single tap, you can unlock and sign into your Chromebook when your phone is nearby. Incoming chat notifications from apps on your phone are right there.
Estou tentando tornar pouco mais Apple, né?
If you want to share a picture, one click, and you
mais
can access your phone's
ali, né?
most recent
Pra fazer
photos.
mais sentido pro Chromebook e tal.
As another simple example, let's
pra
talk about your
aumentar a adesão, né?
TV's remote. If your home is like mine, the remote is missing like 50% of the time. To keep movie night on track, we're building TV remote features directly into your phone. You can use voice search or even type with your phone's keyboard. It's
da hora.
effortless. For the more than 80 million devices using Android TV OS, this will work right out of the box. And we want all of your smart devices to work together, not just those in your home, even your car. In fact, Android Auto is available in more than 100 million cars.
Eu não conhecia, mas quando eu fui lá, gente, eu conheci o Waymo,
like Ford,
que é o
GM, Honda, and more will support Android
carro
Auto
elétrico
wireless.
deles.
No more cords. We're also really excited to introduce support for digital car key. Car key will allow you to lock, unlock, and start your car, all from your phone. It works with NFC and ultra-wideband technology, making it super secure and easy to use. Just walk up to your car, step in, and away you go.
Tem que botar no Celtinha.
And if your friend needs to borrow your car, you can remotely and securely
Mas eles usam
share your digital
NFC
key
para
with
isso?
them.
Para comunicação?
Car Key is launching this fall with select Google Pixel and Samsung Galaxy smartphones. And we're working with BMW and others across the industry to bring it to their upcoming cars.
Galaxy.
Okay, that was a quick look at Android 12, which will launch this fall. But you can check out many of these features in the Android 12 beta today. Try it out on phones from 11 device makers, including Google Pixel, OnePlus, and Xiaomi. From a personalized UI to industry-leading innovation in privacy and security, and better experiences across all the devices in your life. There's so much transformative technology coming to your phone this year. Now, let's go beyond the phone to what we believe is the next evolution of mobile computing, the smartwatch.
Olha a galera que perguntou sobre o
I'm
smartwatch.
excited to tell you about the biggest update to Wear OS
Google
ever.
Watch.
We've been hard at work in 3 key areas. First, building a unified platform.
Gente, vocês sabem que
jointly with
eles compraram a
Samsung,
Fitbit, né?
focused on battery life, performance, and making it easier for developers
foi no
to
começo
build
desse
great
ano.
apps for the watch. Second, a whole new consumer experience,
Esses
including
3 tópicos
updates
lembram
to
o
your
lançamento do
favorite
iPhone.
Google
Não
apps.
sei quem viu esse vídeo aí,
And
mas
third,
vejam.
a world-class health and fitness service
É o
created by the
Steve Jobs
newest
falando
addition to the Google
3 minutos do
family.
iPhone quando foi
Fitbit.
lançado.
There's a lot to share here. So let's get started by talking about our partnership with Samsung.
Vamos ver, hein?
Samsung and Google have a long history of collaborating. From the early days of Android, whenever we've tackled problems together, the ecosystem has grown for everyone. And now we're combining the best of our 2
Deixei a
operating
Motorola vir
systems,
para Samsung mais
Wear OS
recentemente.
and Tizen, into a unified platform focused on faster performance, longer battery
então, não vi
life,
eles comentarem
and a
nada sobre a
thriving developer
Fitbit
community.
que eles
Working
compraram.
together, we've made apps start
Será
up
que eles
to
mataram o
30%
branding da
faster,
Fitbit?
and animations and transitions are super smooth. We're also addressing what consumers always want from a wearable: longer battery life. By taking advantage of smaller, lower power cores, we can do things like run the heart rate sensor continuously, letting you better track your activity during the day and your sleep overnight, while giving you plenty of battery to spare for the next day. This combined platform isn't just for Google and Samsung. It will continue to be available for all device makers, which means developers can build apps with a single set of APIs and reach millions of consumers all over the world through the Google Play Store. To hear more about our partnership, it's my privilege to welcome Patrick Chomé, who leads all product and experience at Samsung Mobile, to Google I/O.
Na apresentação do iPhone também, o Steve Jobs chamou o cara na época de uma telefonia que era
For the
parceria.
past 12 years, Samsung and Google have worked together and made Samsung Galaxy and Android
Head de
successful.
Customer Experience Office na
We strive
Samsung.
to create innovative experiences for Samsung Galaxy users.
Ele é o
Most recently,
francês.
we pioneered foldable devices
Francês, né?
and delivered rich communication experiences with Google Duo and Messages. And we are very excited about the new chapter of our partnership, Wearables. The Galaxy Watch is already loved by Android
Galaxy
smartphone
Watch.
users.
Galaxy
With our
Watch.
signature designs, cool watch faces ecosystem, an innovative health platform. We are bringing the best of these Galaxy Watch capabilities together with Google on a single platform, unifying the
Mas por que eles
ecosystem
fizeram
for
com a
customers
Fitbit, então?
and developers. We work closely to optimize the performance, meaning better
Eles adquiriram ela em
responsiveness
janeiro
and
de
longer battery
2021.
life. You will also be able to enjoy Google Apps and services like the Play Store, Google Maps, and more on the next Samsung Galaxy Watch.
Acho que a Fitbit foi uma
I
das
am truly
primeiras
excited to welcome
pioneiras.
the developer community to our new
Nesse do
vibrant
Samsung
and
Galaxy, eles não estão
Thank you.
anunciando um Google Galaxy em
Back over
si,
to
é
you,
mais melhorias aí no próximo Samsung Galaxy, isso aqui, mas bateria,
Thank you,
performance, uma parada mais
Very
hard,
excited about our partnership.
mais
And I know
otimização.
many developers will be thrilled about our unified platform. On top of this new foundation, Wear is also getting a big update to the consumer experience. To tell you more, let me hand it off to Björn.
Nossa, os nomes da galera é fácil, né? Eu achei que o meu era difícil.
Thanks, Samir. Hey, everyone. Over the last 7 years, we've learned a lot about what people love most about their smartwatch, and we've built a whole new experience with your preferences in mind. First, our new navigation system makes it faster than ever to get things done on your watch. No matter what you're doing, you can access shortcuts to important functions like instantly switching to
Olha que
another app.
engraçado, ele
Let's
foi
say I'm running with Strava
VP na
and I'm
Motorola.
about to hit that long, grueling hill. I just
Geralmente a galera tá tudo em casa ali, vai migrando, né?
Spotify, put on my most motivating song,
Agora ele é
and then switch
Product
right back without
UX
missing a
do
beat.
Wear OS.
It's such a simple thing for a more helpful and fluid experience. People have also told us they love getting glanceable pieces of helpful information just to swipe away from their watch face. So we're expanding our collection of tiles. Thanks to the new Tiles API, any developer can create one, giving people many more ways to customize their home screen carousel. Now I can go from checking my next meeting to the weather forecast to this new tile from Calm, which helps me relax before a stressful event like presenting at Google I/O. We've also been hard at work revamping the Wearables App Experience with a material design update and expanded capabilities, starting with your favorite ones from Google. This includes things like getting turn-by-turn navigation in Google Maps when you leave your phone behind, being able to use Google Pay in 37 countries and more than 200 public transit systems around the
Eu não
world.
usei o Google Pay.
Or downloading music from a catalog of more than 70 million songs for offline listening in the YouTube Music app, even without your phone nearby. We're thrilled about all the
YouTube
ways
Music?
you'll be able to
Eu
experience
pago o
the best of
YouTube
Google
para
on
não
your
ter o
watch.
Ads, mas não
And speaking of the best of Google, I'm delighted to welcome the newest member of the family to Wear,
Fitbit.
Olha só.
Health and fitness is essential for wearables, and Fitbit has built
Me
a
ouviu
world-class
falando.
service.
É,
So now,
certeza,
I'd
incluíram
love
agora,
to
não iam
welcome
falar
James
sobre.
to share
Absoluta.
more about our collaboration.
Tá vendo, gente? Vocês estão assistindo a melhor cobertura possível.
Thanks, Bjorn. Nearly 14 years ago, my co-founder Eric Friedman and I started Fitbit with a mission to make everyone in the world healthier.
Peraí, mas aí o Fitbit vai ser concorrente do Samsung Smart
But over time, we've
Smartwatch?
gone beyond just helping people
Acho que não, só vai dar mais dados para melhorar cada vez mais
health
todo mundo.
journey by providing a range of
Monopólio,
devices from
monopólio.
trackers to
Tudo é nosso.
smartwatches, along with software and services that give users
Não, mas deve ter alguma
health
diferença.
and wellness content.
Eles lançam um
with
SO
insights and analytics under data.
compatível com todo
Now that
mundo,
we're part
nós
of
estamos
Google,
no mesmo
we're working
barco,
to bring the best
mas é importante ter projetos separados para resolver o
We'll
mesmo
be
problema, porque
making some
resolve de
of
maneira
Fitbit's
diferente. Né?
popular features
Não, mas será
available
que
on
são
Wear Watches,
os mesmos problemas? Às vezes
including
é isso
tracking
que eu
your
tô
health
falando, talvez eu não
progress throughout the
saiba
day
qual a diferença,
and
entendeu?
on-wheel
Real.
celebrations to help keep you motivated. In the future, we'll be
Depois eu
building
vou dar uma
premium
pesquisadinha.
smartwatches based on Wear
Quem
that
que é esse
combine
cara?
the
O
best
Jack
of
Chan.
Fitbit's health expertise with
James
Google's
Park.
ambient computing
O que ele
capabilities.
é?
All this is just the beginning of how, together with Google, we can do even more to
Fundador e
inspire
CEO
and
da
motivate
Fitbit.
people on their journey to better
Tranquilo.
health. Back to you, Samir.
A Fitbit foi fundada em 2007.
Thanks, James. I couldn't be more excited for all
Onde
the
que ela tá?
updates starting to roll out this fall. Stay tuned for our
Acho que
developer
Mountain View, né?
keynote to learn more about new tools and libraries to help you build great apps for the watch.
Opa!
From a unified platform with Samsung to a new consumer experience and a world-class fitness service from Fitbit. This is a new era for the wearables ecosystem. So that was a lot. But before we move on from Android and Wear, there's something really important to me personally that I wanted to share with you. As the world's largest OS, we have a responsibility to build for everyone. As part of our ongoing commitment to product inclusion, we're working to make technology more accessible and equitable. One of the most important parts of any smartphone is the camera. Pictures are deeply personal and play an important
É,
role
então,
in
Caduzes,
shaping
o
how people
Fitbit
see
ele é
you
voltado para a
and how
questão
you
de
see
health
yourself.
mesmo, né? De
But
saúde.
for people of
Ele é bem
color,
voltado para isso.
photography has not always seen us as we want to be seen.
Não por simplesmente
Even
um
in some of our
smartwatch,
own
sabe?
Google products. To make smartphone photography truly for everyone, we've been working with a group of industry experts to build a more accurate and inclusive camera. Let's take a look.
People tend to think that cameras are objective, but a bunch of decisions go into making these tools. And historically, those decisions have not been taking people of color into account.
It's still reaffirming this idea that Black people aren't worthy of being seen.
So far, we've partnered with a range of different expert image makers who've taken thousands of images to diversify our image data sets.
Amanda comentou, caramba, bateu negócio agora. Quando me dei conta que a gente está presenciando uma das épocas mais game-changers da tecnologia no geral.
Color more beautiful and more accurate.
Só a parte de ter transferido a pandemia em si, né? O papel da tecnologia na pandemia
I can't
dá
help
para
but think of my
sentir
mom.
diferença
She
da
still
pandemia de
thinks that
100 anos
she's
atrás.
not beautiful because of pictures were taken of her when she's younger. How many little girls are thinking they're not beautiful because they were the darkest skinned person in the photo and they didn't get represented?
The work is for us to do, It's not for people to change the way they look. It's for us to change the way the tools work.
Teve muito problema, né, de racismo das próprias
Our engineering team is learning a
inteligências artificiais,
amount
machine
working
learning,
with these
que fazia
experts.
reconhecimento
And we're
facial,
making
né?
changes to our computational photography algorithms to address long-standing problems. For example, we're making auto white balance adjustments to algorithmically reduce stray light to bring out natural brown tones and prevent over-brightening and desaturation of darker skin tones. We're also able to reflect curly and wavy hair types more accurately in selfies with new algorithms that better separate a person from the background in any image. Although there's still much to do, we're working hard to bring all of what you've seen here and more to Google Pixel this fall. And we're committed to sharing everything we learn with the entire Android ecosystem so that together
Ou seja, comprem um pixel. Toda hora eles estão falando isso. Comprem um pixel. Ó, se vocês quiserem, comprem um pixel. Se vocês quiserem ver isso aí, ó, comprem um pixel.
Ou só ano que vem.
Ou vai demorar muito.
E aí o outono no hemisfério norte é setembro, de setembro a dezembro. Então ele está falando aí do último trimestre do ano para essas novidades, né?
Amanda, vende sim. O Pixel vende no Brasil, sim. É rim, mas...
Google for everyone to increase knowledge, success, happiness, and health beyond anything previously possible. Today, I want to bring you inside to see how our recent advances in image recognition are helping to solve some of the world's big health challenges.
O laboratório tá bem arrumadinho, duvido que seja assim no dia a dia.
Mano, olha o que ela é lá no Google, vou mandar no chat.
Mammograms can help catch breast cancer early. Half of all women experience a false alarm across a decade of screening. So we've been working to make mammography better. Last year, our research demonstrated AI's potential to analyze screening mammograms.
Legal, analisar a imagem no ramo da saúde tem potencial gigante.
Mas todo Google eles lançam alguma coisa relacionada a isso.
Seguimos na Google AI, né?
To better understand how AI can apply to the breast cancer screening process. Let's hear why this matters.
Google Store daqui era limitada a Google Home? Nossa, não. Tem outras coisas como Android Things também.
When we found out Grandma had breast cancer, it was in the late 90s, and it wasn't something that anyone talked about. So my first mammogram was nerve-wracking. Waiting for the results. Every thought runs through your head. What if they find something? It was the worst feeling.
One of the greatest anxieties about having mammography is the wait. It may take radiologists days, sometimes weeks, to get through the list of mammograms that need to be read. This is a national problem. We don't have enough people doing what we need to do.
De pessoas para leitura dos exames e para ter resultados mais rápidos, né?
Artificial intelligence that scans the mammogram image. It helps flag patients that may need additional imaging. I get an email that says the patient has been flagged, and if I agree, we take the patient and they take more pictures right away.
Isso é legal.
We're just at the tip of the iceberg in terms of what we can do with artificial intelligence. We would like to see that we are getting patients faster through the system. If we can show that, then we can change radiologist operations in such a way that we can prioritize patients that need care first. So it will be very exciting to see the results of this study.
This is a great example of how we're learning if AI could support clinicians in their work to triage patients. At Google, we want everyone to have the highest quality care. Technology can and should help close the equity gap. That's why we're working to bring this technology to bear on important global health challenges, from diabetic retinopathy to our new work to improve tuberculosis detection using image recognition on chest X-rays. We also believe AI can assist you in your daily health. People come to Google search every
Provavelmente mais 15 minutinhos aí de updates nível
For
usuário.
example, we see billions of queries each year related to dermatologic issues. This is no surprise because derm conditions affect about 2 billion people globally. There are not enough specialists to meet the need. And so we wondered, how can AI help when you're searching and asking, what is this? Meet our AI-powered Dermatology Assist tool, a Class 1 CE-marked medical device that uses machine learning to help find answers to common derm conditions.
Wow.
Right from your smartphone or computer. From your phone, just upload 3 different photos taken from various angles of the skin, hair, or nail issue that you want to learn about, and answer some basic questions about your symptoms. The AI model handles the rest. In a matter of seconds, you will have a list of possible matching dermatologic conditions.
Nossa, que
And then we can
bizarro.
help you get
Já tá a
relevant
paranoia
information
da pessoa já
learn
ir
more.
no extremo.
Mas sabe o que eu acho que tem a ver
Developing an
também?
effective AI
Muita
model for
gente encontra
dermatology
coisa errada quando
requires the
procura na
capability
internet, no
to
Google
interpret
principalmente, né?
millions and millions
Você vê uma
of images,
manchinha, pô, vou morrer.
inclusive of a
Porque
full
saiu na
range
internet,
of
que sei
skin
lá o que,
types
né?
and tones.
Então é bom que eles arrumem
When
isso aí
available,
mesmo.
this tool will be accessible
De
from
integrar com
your
o Google
browser
Search aí.
and cover 288
Roberto, que sempre quis saber a evolução da minha
including
calvície.
90% of the most commonly searched derm-related questions
Olha
on
só que
Google.
legal.
We're working to make it available to consumers on Google Search in the EU as early as the end of this year.
Antônio, você tá perdido com o quê? Conta
We've
pra
just looked
gente.
at ways we're applying AI to support people and caregivers everywhere.
Até que né, agora o
But
Dr.
health
Google vai
isn't
ser
just
real.
driven by medical care. It's also about our
Medo.
social and
Tenho medo
emotional
disso.
well-being. And that's where staying connected comes in. To find out how Google is helping, we pass it back to Sundar.
Pass back. To Sundar. Ah, tá terminando, galera.
Ó, quem voltou?
Dr. DeSalvo.
Oi?
It's exciting to see the ways in which AI and image recognition are transforming healthcare. There are 2 additional areas of research where AI will have long-term impact. The first feels incredibly timely. We were all grateful to have video conferencing over the last year. It helped us stay in touch with family and friends and kept businesses and schools
Ela falou o
going.
nome do app?
But there is
Ou
no
site?
substitute for
Eu
being
não anotei.
together in the room with someone.
Health.google.com.
Several years ago, we kicked off a project to use technology to explore what's possible.
Não, Antônio, a legenda não tem legenda,
Project
tradução
Starlight.
automática.
It
A gente vai
builds on the
comentar
different
pouquinho
areas
daqui
of
a
computer
pouco.
science I spoke about today and relies on custom-built hardware and highly specialized equipment. It's early and currently available in just a few of our offices. But we thought it'd be fun
Só
to
para
give you a
avisar,
look at
sexta-feira,
people
8h30 da noite, a
experiencing
gente
it
vai fazer
for
um
the
bate-papo
first time.
contando todas as novidades
take a
dos 3 dias, tá? Sexta-feira, 8h30 da noite.
Room, I was a little suspicious. What is
Vai comentar as novidades da semana, na real, né?
Semana toda, não só daqui, né? De hoje.
Eddie!
So, you look beautiful.
I could feel her and see her, and it was this like 3D experience.
Que doideira.
I just saw my sister as if she was right in front of me. It really, really felt like she and I were in the same room. It was
Ai,
like
que horror.
she was here.
Nossa, arrepiada.
É muito louco esse negócio da presença corporal, né? É o que a gente fala tanto em realidade virtual, né?
Some key advances have
Só que
made
sem
this
óculos na
experience
sua
possible.
cara, né?
Exato, né?
Using
Então é a
high
evolução.
resolution
Né? Na verdade,
cameras,
mista é isso aí, né?
custom-built
Verdade
depth
mista.
sensors, we
Mixed
capture your
reality.
shape and appearance from multiple perspectives.
Mas como que ele faz
And then fuse them together to create an
tracking? Não sei
extremely
como, esqueci o
detailed,
nome.
real-time 3D model.
Como que ele faz a
The
leitura?
resulting data is huge, many gigabits per
Câmera
second.
infravermelho, tem
To
vários...
send this 3D imagery over existing networks,
Né, mas
we
aí você precisa
developed
de uma
novel
estrutura, né?
compression and streaming
Mais ou
algorithms
menos, né? Hoje em dia dá pra fazer uma
reduce the data by
fotogrametria
a
sem muito
factor of more than
esforço.
100. And we have
É mais
developed a
esforço de
breakthrough
processar real
light field
time, sabe?
display
Mas
that
uma
shows
câmera
you the
simples
realistic
dá
representation
pra fazer.
of
O
someone
Kinect,
sitting
por
right
exemplo,
in
aí,
front of you in 3 dimensions.
Mas tem jogos,
As you
por
move
exemplo,
your
que para
head and
otimizar
body,
isso, eles não
our system
fazem
adjusts the
a
images
renderização
to
toda,
match your
né? Eles só
perspective.
renderizam
You can
parte
talk naturally,
e porcentagem
gesture,
das
and
partes
make eye
laterais,
contact.
assim,
It's as close as we can get to the feeling
nesse
of
caso,
sitting
sim, né?
across
para
from
conseguir
someone.
otimizar, né?
As sophisticated as the
Mas real
technology
time os
is,
jogos estão até um
it
pouquinho
vanishes.
longos ainda, assim.
So
Eles
you can
fazem mais
focus on what's
tem
most
tem um
important.
processamento ainda.
With Project
Antes de ir
Starline, we
pro
brought
jogo.
together a set of advanced technologies with the goal of creating
Bom,
the
você que é
best
formado em jogos,
communications
tudo que você
experience
disser eu tô
possible.
acreditando, tá? Só para
We
avisar.
spent thousands of hours testing it in our own offices, and the results are promising. There's also excitement
Ah,
from
mas eu
our
queria
lead
saber sobre o
enterprise
mapeamento, o
partners.
tracking,
We plan
que
to
tá mostrando
expand
só a
access
pessoa do
to
outro lado.
partners
Eu
in
queria ver
healthcare
o contrário.
and media. In pushing the boundaries of remote collaboration, we have made technical advances that will improve our entire suite of communications products. We look forward to sharing more ways for you to get involved in the months ahead. The second area of research I want to discuss is our work in driving forward sustainability. Sustainability has been a core value for more than 20 years. We were the first major company to become carbon neutral in 2007. We were also the first to match our operations with 100% renewable energy. That was in 2017, and we've been doing it ever since. And last year, we eliminated our entire carbon legacy. Our next ambition is our biggest yet. By 2030, we aim to operate on carbon-free energy 24/7. This means running every data center and office on clean electricity.
O lance do carbono neutro é conceito importante, mas o carbon free é
on carbon-free
mais
energy
powerful,
is a
né?
step change from current approaches. It means setting a higher bar to never emit carbon
A
from our
humanidade não usa
operations
muito
in the first
carbono
place.
para se manter, isso é
It's a
muito péssimo.
moonshot, like Lambda or quantum computing. And it presents an equally hard set of problems to solve. First, we have to source carbon-free energy in every place we operate, a harder task in some places than in others. Today, 5 of our data centers are already operating at or near 90% carbon-free energy. In Denmark, we built 5 new solar farms to support our newest data center, complementing existing wind energy on the Danish grid. And it's operated carbon-free 90% of the time since day one. Another challenge of 24/7 carbon-free energy is just that. It has to run every hour of every day.
Mas será que é novo? Por isso que eles já conseguiram fazer dessa forma?
The world's first
90% desde o dia 1, mas é bem recente da
Bem recente.
It automatically shifts the timing of many compute tasks to when clean power sources are most plentiful. And today I'm excited to announce we are the first company to implement carbon intelligent load shifting across both
inteligência artificial
within our data center network.
Carbono.
By this time next year, we'll be shifting more than a third of non-production compute to times and places with greater availability of carbon-free energy. To reach 24/7, we also need to go beyond wind and solar and tap into sources of on-demand clean energy like geothermal. Geothermal uses the consistent heat from the earth to generate electricity, but it's not widely used today, and we want to change that. I'm excited to announce that we are partnering to develop a next-generation Geothermal Power project. This will connect to the grid, serving our Nevada data center starting next year.
A computação vai além, né? A energia, os caras estão muito investidos
in fiber optic sensing and novel techniques can unlock flexible geothermal power in a broad range of new places. Investments like these are needed to get to 24/7 carbon-free energy. And it's happening right here in Mountain View, too. We are building our new campus to the highest sustainability standards. When completed, these buildings will feature a first of its kind dragon-scale solar system, equipped with 90,000 silver solar panels
dragon
and the
scale
capacity to generate nearly 7 megawatts. They will house the largest geothermal pile system in North America, helping to heat the buildings in the winter and cool them in the summer. Sustainability is one of the defining challenges of our time. And advances in computer science and AI have a huge role to play in meeting it. So it's a fitting way to end our I/O keynote. I think of I/O not just as a celebration of technology, but of the people who use it and build it, including the millions of developers watching today. Over the past year, we've seen how technology can be used to help billions of people through the most difficult of times. It's made us more committed than ever to our goal of building a more helpful Google for everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Please enjoy the rest of Google I/O and stay tuned for the developer keynote coming up next. I hope to see you in person next year.
Developer
Until then,
keynote coming up.
stay safe and be well.
Stay safe.
Google AI, é isso aí, galera. Vamos comentar um pouquinho antes de começar o... Deixa eu voltar aqui.
Vamos às notas.
Gente, eu anotei muita coisa para eu dar uma pesquisada depois. Eu já vi que tem algumas coisas aqui que já tem até artigo. Não sei se vocês conhecem, mas o Google tem um blog chamado Google AI.google, alguma coisa assim. E vocês devem imaginar, né, quanta coisa que foi falada aqui que está lá no blog deles ou que está para sair. Então, beleza. Beleza.
Aproveitando, o pessoal quiser tirar os 15 minutinhos aí, ir no banheiro, né? Dar uma relaxada, que daqui a pouco tem mais Developer Keynote.
1 hora de Developer Keynote, aí é bem focado em nós. O que o Google tem de novidade pra gente. Mas eu gostei. O que você achou, assim, de maneira geral?
Acho que tem um lance que eles aproveitaram para falar bastante coisa do que já tem. Então tem esse ponto que acho que é importante. Para eles anunciarem, é o momento que o Google tende a anunciar todas as coisas que compõem a stack, né? Não só as novidades. Eu acho que tem bastante, o que eu senti assim, bastante preocupação com a parte de privacidade, segurança de dados. Acho que esse é um tópico. E sustentabilidade também. Essa parte acho que são 2 tópicos bem major para o momento, porque a gente vive uma era de problemas com os dados e tal, né? E ao mesmo tempo consumo de energia muito alto. Isso olhando do ponto de vista mais do que o tamanho da empresa representa.
Uhum.
Em termos de funcionalidade, tem umas ferramentas bem interessantes, né? O design do Android 12, acho que eu tô curioso para ver como é que vai ser. Muita ferramenta de inteligência artificial que eles já estavam anunciando ao longo dos últimos anos. E aí eles falaram um pouquinho mais sobre, falaram de melhorias ao longo desse ano. Mas é meio que as coisas breakthrough que eles já haviam anunciados, agora tomando um pouquinho mais de forma, né? O Lambda foi um negócio interessante, de trocar ideia com a IA, quero testar isso. Mas o que você achou? Isso é o que eu lembro de cabeça.
Massa. Bom, complementando, então, já que você já falou da privacidade, né, eu vou falar de uma outra coisa, que é a questão da customização. Ficou muito claro o quanto eles querem personalizar a experiência das pessoas no Android em si, né, não só no Android, mas principalmente no Android, ali com o material design e tudo mais, que é dar a possibilidade para as pessoas criarem o seu próprio visual, né? Eu acho isso muito bacana. Eu sempre falo que a gente vive na era da personalização, não necessariamente da era dos dados, né? Que é um fato. Mas com os dados a gente consegue personalizar a experiência das pessoas, né? Então, eu vi muito essa questão de customização. Vi muita coisa também relacionada à integração, né? Até porque eu participei de outros I.O.s. Então, eu vejo, principalmente 2019, ele veio com essa onda de beleza, eu vou mostrar coisas que eu já tenho, mas eu vou mostrar elas integradas agora. Né, que foi exatamente o que eles começaram apresentando no início ali do Keynote, integração de várias ferramentas, né, o Google Lens em todos os... o Google Lens basicamente em todos os lugares, né, então eles estão utilizando esse recurso da questão do Google Lens, de identificação de imagem, de reconhecimento de imagem, né. O Google Lens, para quem não conhece, é um aplicativo isolado, mas eles estão integrando o Google Lens e todo o seu potencial de reconhecimento de imagem, de visão computacional em outras aplicações. Isso está sendo muito legal, né. Do que eu tenho aqui anotado, a questão da TPU, ela é mais para quem utiliza essa questão da TPU. Eles usam internamente, né, como eu comentei com vocês, desde 2015, e eles abriram para uso terceiro, né, em 2018, que foi o primeiro Google I.O. que eu participei. Eu lembro que eles falaram da TPU e a gente ficou caraca, e é para processamento de redes neurais, né, principalmente. Então é um poder computacional, assim, absurdo, e aí nesse ano eles só entre aspas, né, falaram da evolução da TPU, então. Esse último projeto, Starline, assim, eu particularmente nunca tinha ouvido falar. Por sinal, galera, vocês estão aí? Vocês estão assistindo? Talvez vocês tenham dado uma pausa, né? O quem quiser ir lá, pegar alguma coisa para comer, para continuar acompanhando aqui com a gente. Mas eu também queria saber a opinião de vocês, né? Caso alguém aí esteja conosco, eu queria saber o que vocês acharam. O que vocês mais gostaram. Como eu falei, essa questão do Project Starline, eu realmente não lembro de ter visto nada relacionado a isso nos outros eventos, né, nas outras edições, que é essa parte de você ver a pessoa em 3D. Eu achei bem legal e há uma discussão muito grande, né, sobre a utilidade da realidade virtual e da realidade aumentada e do desafio de colocar isso no dia a dia das pessoas. E, assim, o uso que eles implementaram ali parece ser bem interessante, né? Principalmente nesse momento de pandemia, onde as pessoas não conseguem se ver de fato, né? Presencialmente. Deixa eu dar uma olhadinha aqui nas redes. Individualmente. O que mais que eu anotei? Eu sempre gosto, toda vez que eu assisto alguma coisa do Google, mesmo quando eu estava fazendo curso na Udacity, eu gosto de ver o nome das pessoas, né? Seguir elas principalmente no Twitter, porque elas costumam postar muitas coisas sobre os produtos que elas fazem parte. O Sandal falou ali que gostou bastante do PC quântico. O Túlio falou: Google levou a questão de privacidade e Android mais a sério, algo que se tem no iPhone. Massa, massa. A X-Tecna... deixa eu pôr a mensagem de vocês aqui na tela, né? Então o Túlio comentou aí sobre a questão de privacidade. O Sandal curtiu pra caramba a questão do PC quântico. É uma área que eu, de fato, assim, tenho pouco conhecimento, mas é uma área que surpreende, né? Oi, falei.
Pode falar.
O Antônio comentou: meu maior medo é a inteligência artificial superando nós. Bom, estão trabalhando para isso. A X-Tecna falou: nunca tinha visto um evento do Google, sempre tem essas paradas assim? Ou é agora que está tendo uma busca maior pela integração de inteligência artificial com a vida das pessoas? Não, sempre foi assim, X-Tecna. Basicamente, eu não vou me lembrar exatamente qual foi o primeiro ano que teve o evento do Google I.O., mas todos os anos tem esse evento. Só que é a primeira vez que esse evento acontece gratuito e online, né? Até ano passado ele não teve, por conta da pandemia. E é muito... Se vocês verem os keynotes dos outros anos, né? Como eu falei, eu participei em 2018, 2019, porque o Google pagou minha viagem para a Califórnia. E era sempre um clima muito de alegria, de felicidade. E apesar de ter muita novidade legal nesse keynote, o clima ali ele foi mais seguradinho, né? Ele não foi um clima de alegria, caraca, olha quanta coisa, né? Foi mais tipo, a gente tá anunciando isso aqui, mas sem aquele excited, né? Justamente pelo momento que a gente tá vivendo. Então, eu achei bem respeitoso da parte deles. Aí, falando um pouco sobre a questão da forma de apresentar, né? Da comunicação deles. Então, todo ano isso tem. O Google tem vários blogs, tá? Blog de inteligência artificial, blog do Android. Então, vocês podem acompanhar os anúncios da Google através dos blogs, no Twitter também, de cada uma das ferramentas. Então, através do Twitter do Google Fotos, você sabe quando isso vai ser disponibilizado, por exemplo. Tá? É cada uma das funcionalidades que eles mencionam. Beleza? E sim, eles sempre buscaram trazer inteligência artificial para a vida das pessoas, né? Para o dia a dia das pessoas. Isso desde quando eu comecei a acompanhar o Google I.O. alguns anos atrás. Eu vou pegar alguma coisa para comer, aí o Paulo continua tocando aí com vocês.
Ótimo. O pessoal comentou aqui, o Júlio comentou, eu não entendi muito essa questão do 3D, o que faz esse efeito. Você está falando de realidade aumentada, você está falando de fotogrametria. Eles apresentaram duas coisas aí. Eles falaram algumas coisas sobre realidade aumentada, então tiveram algumas coisinhas de melhorias nisso, integração no próprio Maps em si, né? Eles chegaram a comentar também sobre algumas coisas de fotogrametria para trazer presença, o lance da presença nas reuniões e tal, que é bem legal. E aí, pessoal, o que vocês acharam? Comentários, o que vocês curtiram mais dentro da Google I.O.? Falando aí do... O técnico comentou também que computador quântico, tomar vergonha na cara e voltar a estudar. Eu li alguns artigos sobre o PC quântico, né? É um tema bem interessante, ao mesmo tempo tem bastante coisa para aprender sobre, meio loucura, né? Gostou do Android 12, o Diegão comentou que curtiu o Android 12. Cara, acho que tem umas coisas bem interessantes para o Android 12, né? Essa parte de layout customizado, eu quero ver como é que isso vai rolar na prática. Então, eu estou curioso também. Enquanto a gente está falando aqui, deixa eu mostrar para vocês. Tá rolando ali a Google I/O no fundinho. A gente está esperando. Thaíssa returns soon. O Carlão perguntou, professor, eu perdi muita coisa, estava em aula. Cara, tivemos 2 horas de bastante conteúdo, muita gente falando. O pessoal deu overview sobre várias tecnologias, várias novidades que vêm para o Google a nível usuário, principalmente coisas relacionadas a trabalho colaborativo, trabalho em pandemia. Falaram sobre o Google Meets, que está integrado agora dentro do Docs, para você conseguir fazer reunião. Falaram algumas coisas que ainda não estão lá, mais novidades, próximos passos na tecnologia, né? Google Maps, falando bastante coisa em nível Google Maps. Teve uma parada bem interessante no Google Maps, que agora, além de falar o restaurante e locais comércio, se estão cheios ou não, eles estão expandindo isso para vizinhanças. Então agora você vai saber se aquele bairro se esse bairro tá cheio ou não, em qual horário, para você saber quando você pode frequentar o bairro. Então, sei lá, não sei a galera que é de São Paulo, mas de repente um bairro como Liberdade, você vai saber quando ele tá mais tranquilo para visitar, porque é muita atividade de rua, né? Isso é bem interessante. A Isa comentou, eu achei louco o campus com Dragon Scale Carbon Skin. Muito louco, né? Os caras fazendo um campus para trabalhar que é autossustentável, ainda ajuda no processo de gerar energia geotermal. Eles estão com investimento nessa parte geotermal bem interessante. O Antônio comentou aqui também. Opa, Paulo, você já ouviu falar do Hyperloop Explained? Eu vi sobre o Hyperloop, que ele está bem interessante, construir os túneis, é isso? Construir os túneis lá por baixo das cidades e tal. E tinha umas pesquisas pioneiras nisso. Eu acho que esse era o Hyperloop, né? Me corrija se eu estiver errado. Mas se for esse aí, cara, é um negócio muito louco, né? Acho que essa parte de mobilidade urbana, transporte público, transporte privado, que isso vai evoluir nos próximos anos. O Google falou um pouquinho sobre Android Auto, de integração e não sei o quê, mas ele falou mais sobre algumas melhorias de experiência de usuário, de como fazer as coisas que a gente já faz normalmente. Não falou nada sobre carro autônomo, nem coisa do tipo, né? Mas seria uma boa integração para o Android Auto. O Carlão comentou, bom, pelo que eu vi, tinha muita coisa boa vindo, uma ótima oportunidade para voltar a estudar Kotlin, e eles acabaram não comentando tanto sobre o Kotlin, até porque nem era o objetivo nessa parte, né? Mas no Developer Keynote, e principalmente hoje à noite, a gente vai ter novidades no Android, eles vão falar sobre bastante coisa no Kotlin. Tem até uma palestra específica na Google I/O que fala um pouquinho sobre o que está vindo no Kotlin de diferença para o universo Android, e aí para a gente que está mais relacionado à área de tecnologia, desenvolvimento em si. Estamos ansiosos e ansiosas, esperando o que vai sair de novo. Thaíssa is back.
Hello. Vocês pegaram alguma coisinha para comer, água?
É importante, né, galera?
Manter hidratados.
Stay hydrated. O novo Gmail ficou bacana. Teve alguns lançamentos no Gmail para análise de phishing, de spam, né? Essa parte de segurança, eles estão investindo bastante.
No último I/O, o que teve de novo em relação ao Gmail, que eu acho que muita gente não sabe ainda, é engraçado, né? Eles lançam, mas demora um tempo até chegar as informações das pessoas que não assistem o I/O. Foi a questão do autocomplete, né? Eu não sei se vocês usam, mas o Gmail ele tem autocomplete baseado nos e-mails que você tem na sua caixa e da forma com que você escreve. Então, é uma funcionalidade que eu não sei se muita gente conhece.
Eu ainda uso bem, eu tô me acostumando, assim, mas às vezes eu me sinto um pouco ofendido, porque eu coloco uma mensagem, ele fala, completa a frase inteira e eu fico, deixa eu mudar minhas palavras para falar que
você tá dando mais insumo para IA, é só isso que você tá dando.
Exato.
Mas eu senti um pouco de falta de novidades do Google Fotos, né? Claro que no último I/O eles lançaram uma porrada de coisa, né? O Fix Lighting, por exemplo. Hoje o Google Fotos ele faz ajuste da cor da luz automaticamente, coloca cor em foto branco e preto, né? Isso já existia.
Eles falaram de ajustar o tom da pele, né? O lance do curly, cabelos crespos e tal, conseguir colocar mais isso. Falaram daquelas imagens meio slow motion. Tem algumas coisas IA junto, analisando o IA, né?
Teve um movimento também, né? O Cinematic Moment.
Tem aqui tudo comentou. Pelo que eu entendi, smartphone com Android 12 terá uma melhor integração com os Chromebooks. Isso é bem real. Agora, meio que a integração é natural, sem precisar configurar nada. Você pode usar o teclado de um para digitar no outro.
Mas aí fica a pergunta, quem aí tem um Chromebook? Eu conheço duas pessoas aqui no Brasil.
Usar mais nenhum software Windows, Mac, Linux e passar a usar tudo na web. Inclusive,
tudo da Google Play.
A Google está processando a Apple por boicote aos navegadores na web. Falou que eles não querem lançar as funcionalidades mais novas e tal. E aí eles ficam sempre atrasando os recursos na web, não querem oferecer uma experiência web nativa tão boa quanto as dos apps.
Mas eu lembro de falarem para mim que todas as coisas que rodam todos os browsers que rodam no iPhone, eles rodam em cima do Safari, né?
Até o Chrome roda em cima do Safari? Você não sabia, hein?
Podem confirmar aí, mas foi o que eu ouvi de um dev web.
Vamos ver.
Não vou falar nome, mas... É que eu não sou dev web, né, gente? Sou dev Android. O Túlio falou que tem 2 Chromebooks. Mais uma pessoa que eu conheço.
Mas aí
poucas
que
pessoas têm Chromebook.
Qual a utilidade desses Chromebooks? O que eles estão fazendo? Está usando eles? O Carlão comentou, pensei em comprar um Chromebook, mas investi em um IdeaPad.
Legal.
Eu acho que o Chromebook ele vai cada vez ganhar mais relevância à medida que as aplicações para web se terem experiências melhores e tal. E é muito nisso que o Google está trazendo. Todo ano ele traz algumas coisinhas para a web, melhorando até a parte de DevTools, ou otimizando navegadores, mudando o protocolo de privacidade, tentando deixar a experiência cada vez mais nativa, né? Mais parecida com a experiência nativa.
Uhum.
Então acho que esse é um ponto. Talvez o Chrome OS tenha umas experiências melhores para a web do que os próprios navegadores em si rodando em cima de um outro sistema operacional.
É o mínimo, né?
Mas não sei, eu nunca usei assim.
Eu também não.
O Goito comentou que tem um Windows 10 Book. Eu nem sabia que o
Windows 10 Book?
Existe um Windows 10 Book. O Michael comentou, será que vão falar do short do YouTube? E aí vai um pouco aquilo que você estava comentando, né? Do YouTube tem um evento separado, os caras não falarem tantas coisas na I.O.
Eu não lembro de anúncios relacionados ao YouTube nos últimos I.O.s que eu assisti.
Então fica aí, quando que eles vão falar do formato Shorts? Apesar de que eu estava vendo a pesquisa que saiu recente, que no Instagram em si, o formato que mais engaja é o próprio feed. E Stories acaba não engajando tanto. E aí eu fico pensando que, na real, Stories ele tem uns meios de interação, mas não é tão voltado para isso. Ele é mais para um consumo rápido de informação, menos para o engajamento em si, né? O engajamento é bem específico, coisa que no feed o engajamento é menos pessoal, né? No Stories você engaja via direct e tal. Então vamos ver como é que isso vai rolar no YouTube, porque o YouTube vai ter os shorts, acho que eles estão com um aporte, eu não sei quantos milhões, mas que o YouTube colocou, deixa eu até ver, shorts, acho que eram 100 milhões para quem produzisse conteúdo, 100 milhões de dólares, criaram um fundo, né, para pagar esses criadores, então eles estão investindo bem pesado nesse formato de shorts para a criação de conteúdo. Vamos ver o que sai aí também.
Gente.
Mas acho que é para concorrer com o TikTok, essa galera, né?
Eu imagino, sim.
O Silvio comentou aqui, o Windows 10 X foi cancelado, tá no site da Microsoft com a data de hoje, vamos ver. O Windows 10 X é o rival do Chrome OS.
As novidades do YouTube tem um blog oficial. Eu vou mandar aqui no chat para vocês. Tá falando do short, olha aqui, ó. 11 de maio de 2021. Introducing the YouTube Shorts Funding. Enfim, vou mandar aqui no chat para vocês. Essas empresas tudo tem blog, gente. Procurar, acha.
E logo menos aí tá marcado para as 4h15, exatamente 4h15. Vamos ver. Stay tuned for the Google Developer Keynote. Será que ele volta?
Galera, vocês estão curtindo? Deixem um joinha aí se vocês estiverem gostando da nossa cobertura do Google I.O. 2021. Quem sabe ano que vem a gente não tá lá presencialmente, galera.
Ó, quem sabe, hein?
Começou. O que aconteceu? Terminou a transmissão. Calma aí. Terminou a transmissão.
Terminou a transmissão do Google?
Será que vai para outro link? Deixa eu ver. Developer Keynote. Mudou o link. Peraí, galera, vamos lá.
Hi, everyone.
Ah,
great to be back here at Google I/O again.
peguei a
this
fila
year.
com esse cara
I'm Titus, and I work on
pra
developer
pegar
relations
pão.
here at Google. As Sundar said, we all miss being able to get together in person. And while this is a different vantage point than we're used to, I'm glad we get together virtually. We have over 225,000 registered attendees joining us from 181 countries today, with some of our largest audiences from India, the US, Brazil, Germany, and South Korea.
Brasil.
Many of these communities are going through extremely difficult times.
So
wherever you are, we hope you and those you care about are staying safe. This year has been unlike anything I imagined we'd be living through. It's changed so much, including how we live, work, and interact with others. We've had to adapt to working together while physically apart and tackling problems we never imagined we'd have to face, all while dealing with tremendous isolation and loss. But technology has played a significant role in helping us adapt to these challenges, allowing us to do everything from ordering groceries to working from home to staying connected with our loved ones. As we know, crisis doesn't create character, it reveals it. And it's been amazing to see developers like you coming up with solutions to the problems around you. It's in our developer DNA. We're problem solvers, drawn to the hardest problems and using technology to tackle them. We've seen this again and again. In Kenya, there's the team at Flare who used Google Maps to create an emergency response app designed specifically for places without emergency phone service, like 911 or 112, which has helped save over 7,000 people from previously impossible situations. In Russia, there's Ivan Bakaido, a 21-year-old self-taught programmer with cerebral palsy who develops apps for other people with speech and motor challenges to communicate. All of his apps are free and open source and helping people around the world. In Texas, there's Mandy Price and her team at Canaries who are using machine learning and natural language processing through AutoML to help companies with their diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. While most companies
Developer
can measure the
Relations,
representation
pra
of
quem
their
achava que a
employees,
Thaíssa tinha inventado o
the
cargo.
team at Canaries is using hundreds of data sources to quantify equity and inclusion, uncover structural bias, and drive systemic change. And in Bangladesh, we have the team at Maya, who created a digital assistant so women could get health information and telehealth consultations in their native language. The team partnered with Google to use an end-to-end transformer-based deep neural network to train on their in-house data set, which increased the accuracy of their natural language processing to above 90%. Now their app can provide answers in Bengali to questions on 50 topics. And in the last year, their platform has reached over 10 million users.
Falando sobre o uso de machine e
These
deep
are just
learning
some of the
nas
stories we've
aplicações
heard about
como usado
developers
de devs,
around
né?
the globe who've
Tentando
built
trazer
and
o uso
achieved
do machine
amazing
learning
things
mais
during
presente
incredibly
nas
difficult
aplicações
times.
envolvidas.
You've also found ways to continue to collaborate during this time. Around the world, our Google Developer Group leaders have stepped up in a huge way,
GDG.
figuring out how to host events that work for each of their communities. We had over 16,000 digital events last year, reaching over 3 million developers, which is nearly double the number of developers we reached the year before.
Olha só,
That's amazing.
dobro é
And
muita
while it's
coisa.
not the same as working together in person, it's helped us support each
Os
other when
números
we've
de
all
GDG são
needed it.
incríveis.
And we want to continue this support by meeting you where you are to help you solve the problems you care about and build the products of our future. And that isn't easy. We know it's hard to build in today's environment, and not just because of the pandemic. It's challenging to code for multiple platforms. It can be hard to integrate machine learning. It's complex to manage user data safely and correctly in markets around the world.
Desenvolver para multiplataforma é
But
muito
across our
difícil.
products, we're working to make it easier so that you can focus on the specific problem you're working to solve. Today, you'll hear the latest on Android, the web, Flutter, Firebase, and machine learning. Thank you for joining us. And now I'd like to pass it on to Jacob, who will start us off with updates from the Android
Bora lá, pro Android.
Chega junto, Jacob. Tamo junto, fica aqui em casa, bem-vindo. Fala pra nós, conta pra nós.
I want to connect with people and then just get this conversation that we started
Amanda,
here
ela é
and
brasileira.
make it happen all year
Gente,
long.
eu conheço essa menina. Ela é do GDG de Londres. E ela é Google Developer Expert de Cloud. Ai, que chiquérrima.
Thank you, Jason.
O inglês está
This
impecável.
really has been a year of
Não,
huge
sensacional
changes
inglês dela.
for all of us. I remember watching what felt like
Ela dá aula.
futuristic video calls in the film 2001 as a kid. Now, my 3-year-old chats with her grandparents every week on Duo. We can't wait to see each other, but it helps us get through a difficult time. With people depending on apps more than ever, expectations are higher, and your jobs as developers aren't getting easier. We want to help.
Cada vez mais difícil.
Today, we'll talk about 3 things. Android 12 for developers,
Video lead, apps
building
vertical.
beautiful, high-quality apps with modern Android, and how to bring apps to large screens and wearables. Okay, let's talk about Android 12. As Samir shared earlier, Android 12 is one of the biggest design changes ever, with new experiences that keep people safe, and an all-new UI that is personal, smoother, and much faster. To help bring this to your apps, we're adding a ton of new features. Let's start with user safety. As developers, you know it's crucial that people trust your apps and the platform they're on. To earn this trust, we believe people should understand how apps use their data, have control over how their data is used, and are comfortable it's necessary for tasks that they've initiated.
Falando
In Android 12, we're adding multiple features to help people understand how
agora
apps
com
use their data.
um olhar mais de
To
dev.
check usage in your apps or SDKs, we're giving you auditing APIs and guidance. And to share more context about your usage, you get a new API, permission intent. To give people more control, we're adding features like approximate location so they can decide how much they want to share. And to help people feel comfortable with the data you're using, we're giving you Bluetooth permissions to scan and connect to nearby devices. No more location needed. Now, we also want to help you build delightful apps. To us, this means that they perform really well and are engaging. Most of this is magic that you add as developers, but the platform should help. First, performance. Sometimes apps are killed or notifications are delayed to improve responsiveness and battery. We know this is frustrating, especially when it's unpredictable. To help, 2 areas we focused on are standby buckets and foreground services. For example, the new restricted standby bucket lets Android limit background work in ways that you'll find predictable and transparent. Foreground services help people interact with apps that are doing work in the background, such as recording your morning run. But sometimes they're misused. Now, you can only start foreground services from user actions or external events. And for background work that needs to run immediately, we're giving you expedited jobs. To improve app startup, we're adding guardrails that prevent apps from using notification trampolines. Working with Google Photos, it now launches up to 34% faster.
O Tony perguntou, vão ser quantas lives? A gente vai fazer essa aqui, começou às 1h45 e vai até 5 horas. E sexta-feira a gente vai fazer um resumo de tudo que teve de novidade na semana para vocês, 8h30 da noite. Essas 2 lives. Agora, se quiser assistir de fato, só entrar no site do Google I.O. e se inscrever. Tem uma porrada de coisa lá na programação.
We're improving media with a new API to insert content in apps like messaging. And we're adding support for AVIF images and HEVC transcoding.
Manda o link.
To give people a fun way to see when they've scrolled past the end of your content, we're giving you stretch over scroll. And to make widgets more interactive, you're getting features like animations and new UI controls. Now, that's just a quick glimpse into Android 12.
Quem tá assistindo do YouTube aí, já deixa o like e o... Como que é o nome? Subscribe. Se inscreve aí no canal já. Se estiver na Twitch, dá um follow. E aí vocês vão ser notificados.
Thanks, Jacob. We've been hard at work improving the mobile developer experience, what we call modern Android development. You told us, keep the openness, but become opinionated about the right way to do things and make the right way the easiest way.
A roxinha.
So we did.
Beleza,
we know you need a
Fazer o
powerful
jeito
IDE
certo
that
e ser o
can keep
jeito
up with
fácil,
you,
isso é bem
a
importante na
programming
forma.
language that enables you to do more with less code, and APIs that solve the hardest problems on mobile, yet have backward compatibility. So we brought you Android Studio, Kotlin, Jetpack, and Jetpack Compose, our powerful UI toolkit to easily build beautiful apps for all Android devices. First, Android Studio. We want to help you build higher quality apps faster, like showing test results across multiple devices, debugging databases and background tasks with the App Inspector, or making your apps more accessible with the Android Accessibility Framework inside Android Studio. And for faster build speeds, we have the Android Gradle plugin 7.0 and new DSL and variant APIs. You can find all of this in Android Studio Arctic Fox beta available today.
Nossa.
Talking about build
pouca
speed,
ferramenta para
we
aumentar
are
a
continuing to
produtividade,
push on the
testar em
boundaries of
múltiplos
Kotlin
dispositivos.
with a brand new native solution to annotation processing for Kotlin built from the ground up. Kotlin Simple Processing is available today and is a powerful and yet simple API for parsing Kotlin code directly, showing speeds up to 2 times faster with libraries like Room. With over 1.2 million apps in the Play Store using Kotlin, it is the most used language by professional Android developers, including 80% of the top 1,000 apps, meaning it's a language that's chosen by apps that see millions of downloads and need to scale across those 3 billion devices.
A adesão foi muito rápida.
Here at Google, we love it too. With over 70 apps, including Drive,
a adesão foi muito rápida, cara.
É muito fácil, né? Ctrl, Alt, Shift.
É que tem a compatibilidade, né? Tem muito projeto que tem ambos.
And created libraries to ensure your apps are high quality and have backward compatibility.
Pode ter Ctrl, Alt, Shift, K.
84% of the top 10,000 apps are now using a Jetpack library. And today
Nossa,
we're going
tudo
further.
isso?
O Jetpack,
só
o model ali já era, né?
Pode ser algo pequenininho, né? Quando fala usa o Jetpack, né?
Startup and jank before your app is released.
As
It's now
próprias
is a perfect
activities
complement to
estão
Firebase
dentro.
performance
verdade.
for after your app is released.
Pra fazer inflar, né, a
data
view,
more efficiently
já
with
tem
Data
como...
Store, a new
Tem
Kotlin code routines
pedacinho de
API
Jetpack,
now in beta,
Já.
and first-class support for Jetpack Compose with architecture libraries and so
Nossa,
much.
pai, agora tem vídeo pra caramba
And
pra
now
fazer,
for
hein, Paulo?
Jetpack Compose.
Meu Jesus amado, eu
We
vou ter que fazer
started
um novo
building
livro.
Compose
Fazer
in the
vídeo de
open
cada
2 years
já.
ago today here at Google
Meu
I/O.
novo livro, só
Listening to
Jetpack
your
Compose
feedback
e
to make sure that we really
Olha
got
só,
this
gente,
right.
o Paulo só vai
With
falar
over
de Android
35
até o
public
final do ano que vem.
We took everything that we learned from Jetpack and Kotlin and we brought it to UI development.
Ai, eu quero
Compose
muito
is
testar o
our
Jetpack
modern
Compose.
native UI toolkit for Android.
E o
Fully
iToolkit, pelo
declarative
amor
for
de Deus,
defining
pelo amor
UI,
de
so you can
XML
build
com
gorgeous
layout.
apps in way less time. Interoperable with existing Android views, so you don't need to rewrite a single line of code. It works
Interoperabilidade
with your existing code
é a
base
chave, né?
from day one. With the Compose beta, developers around the world have created some truly beautiful, innovative experiences in half the time. I'm blown away by all of these amazing
Exatamente,
apps
Goito.
built during the Android Dev Challenge.
Até eu vou
The
criar
first
uns conteúdos
challenge
lá.
was all about puppies, which made for a ton of really cute moments in our team chat.
Fazer pair programming
It's
no Experts
inspiring
Club,
to see
Paulo.
the number of developers
Part two.
already working on production apps with Compose like these. The New York Times, Airbnb, Twitter, Lyft, Play.
É nativão,
but
né?
enough talk.
Essa
Now is
galera
a
aí,
good
não é?
time to hand it to
É,
Roman.
né? É
Give you a
nativão.
quick demo to see
Kotlin
Compose in
nativão.
action.
Quem é esse cara? Ruben, Guy.
Thank you, Karen. Compose makes it a lot easier and also a lot more fun to build beautiful UIs. Today, I would like to show you how you can add Compose to an existing app. So here's an app I wrote using views. I have a recycle view, and when I click on an item, it takes me to the next fragment. I have a nested scroll view, I have a tab, and a bunch of other views. Now I would like to add compose to this screen. So let's take a look at the code. I've already set up a compose view inside my
diretor de engenharia do Android Toolkit.
and I can call set content on it. And that's pretty much it. That's all I need to do to start writing compose code. So we're gonna set up a theme. Then I'm gonna add a list of material cards. And you can see the declarative model of compose in action. It's simple function calls. We don't have complex XML. We don't have complicated layout params. It's much easier than before. And when I rerun the app and we go back to the screen,
Android Studio no Lite.
You'll be able to see our compose UI in action.
Parece
naturally with the views around. Now here's something interesting. In every card, you can see this physically accurate view of the sky that's computed on the GPU using the selected time and location. It uses a surface view. That means I have views inside compose, inside views. You have full two-way interaction. Compose is completely compatible with your existing code and your existing custom views. There's one more thing I would like to show you. The cards are pretty big.
Pode
I would like the user
deixar,
to be able to collapse them and expand
Estamos
them.
anotando
So let's
tudo.
take a look at the code. We're
Sexta-feira
going to
a
add
gente
a single
apresenta
line
para
of code
vocês.
around the content of the cards. Animated visibility. And now
É
when I
francês.
rerun the app and I go back to that screen, I can tap on the cards to expand them and collapse them with an animation. It's that simple. So Compose is completely compatible with your code. Animations are
Isso aí de novo, que a
Try
cabeça
it.
dá uma explodida, né?
And now, back to Karen.
A cara dele, de quem tá orgulhoso do que fez.
Esse alarme editor aí já vem built-in e tal, né?
Eu já
Thanks,
parei de
Ramon.
anotar
That was
já.
really fun. I love how animation is so much easier to do. And every UI component is material by default, so it's easy to build gorgeous UI. Stay tuned for the new Material U components coming later this year for both Compose and Android views. We're building Compose
Ela é
to make
diretora
sure
de Product
you're productive,
Management.
but also promise that it will scale. The API is fully complete. We are pressure testing the final bits, so Compose will hit 1.0 in July. It's a great time to start, so your apps will be ready to launch. And about that openness, we have just open sourced Compose for Wear OS. The next era at Android is about enabling all your devices connected to your phone.
Ixi, não
TVs,
vi nada
cars,
do que você falou.
watches, tablets to work better together. Let's
Ficou
talk
tudo
more about
zoado pra
building
mim.
across screens. Starting from our largest screens with tablets, foldables, and Chrome OS, there's huge
Navigation?
momentum
Ah,
as
não.
people are relying on these devices more to stay
Ih, não
connected
falo
as family
navigation.
and friends, go to school, or work remotely. There are over 250 million active large screen
Nossa.
active devices. Last year, Chrome OS grew 92% year over year, 5 times the rate of the
10
PC
usuários,
market,
agora tem.
making Chrome
Nossa,
OS the fastest growing and second most
92%
popular
2% de
desktop
quanto,
OS.
né?
Android app usage has tripled in the last year. It's so cool to see how apps are taking advantage of the extra space of larger screens. Like Disney Plus, watch how this looks on a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. The app makes good use of the front screen, seamlessly transitions to
Nossa.
tablet mode, and even makes use of the new Hinge API to tell when the phone is in
Nossa.
tabletop mode.
fecha aí.
We
Eita.
studied how people interact with large screens, like where their fingers and their thumbs are placed. And we're giving you APIs
Nossa,
and
que no
tools
celular
to
desse
make
alguém tem
that
que facilitar a vida do
experience
Dev Android, né?
easier.
Pelo
Like having
amor
your
de
content
Deus.
resize automatically to more space with sliding pane layout 2.0 or a vertical nav rail. Max
É, isso
widths
é bem
on
importante, porque
components
geralmente ele
with
destrói, né?
terrible
Quando tem
looking
mudança, ele destrói
Now
tudo
update and fold and
e cria de
transition
novo.
states with constraint layout 2.1 and motion layout. And updates to the platform,
Eita, e esse
Chrome OS,
emulador aí?
and Jetpack Window Manager,
Nossa.
so apps just work better by default.
Wow.
We're also making it easier for apps and services to access with voice, with the help of the
O
Google
emulador
Assistant.
Android aí tá como?
We heard your feedback. Enabling assistant capabilities with your app is pretty
Front-end
hard,
chora.
and it isn't part of your normal
Vai alto.
Android development flow.
Fala, vai alto.
So using existing Android APIs, we're bringing voice interaction right into Android Studio. With Android shortcuts and a new capabilities API, you can now create voice shortcuts for your apps. You can optimize your widgets for voice by
Eu
connecting
nunca
it
fiz
to an
um
app
app usando
capability
o
and adding TTS
Google
support,
Assistant ou
allowing your
criei
app to show up on
action
surfaces like the lock
no
screen on mobile,
Assistant.
or even as a view on Android Auto. Now to our smallest screens, smartwatches. You heard the big updates we had for wearables earlier. A unified wearables platform built jointly with Samsung, combining the best of Wear OS and Tizen, a new consumer experience, and a world-class health and fitness service with Fitbit. As an Android developer, it means you'll have more reach. You can use all of your existing skills, tools, and APIs that make your mobile apps great to build for a single wearable platform used by people all over the world. And we're bringing the best of Samsung to that unified platform, like Samsung's sensor technology that measures exercise data more accurately with longer battery life. We now have new Jetpack APIs for Wear OS, tailored for small screens and designed to optimize battery life. Like the Jetpack Library, so that any developer can create a custom tile for all devices in the Wear ecosystem. It's now in alpha, and will start to show up on consumer watches with the new
informação de uma vez, gente.
Look at all these tiles coming from Adidas Sleep Cycle, Whole 19, Calm, and Flow. We also have a new set of APIs for health and fitness, created in collaboration with Samsung. Data collection from sensors and metric computation is streamlined, consistent, accurate, from data like heart rate to calories to daily distance from a single trusted source. The alpha of the health services platform is available to use today. And all of this comes together with new tooling. With the release of Android Studio Arctic Fox Beta, like easier pairing to test those apps, and even a virtual heart rate sensor in the emulator. And when your app is ready, users will have a much easier time discovering the world of Wear apps on Google Play, with some big updates coming to discoverability. The Wear app ecosystem is growing. We're working with developers like Strava, Spotify, Calm, Adidas to bring richer, more immersive app experiences to the platform. So that's it. It's a great time to get started here. That's our quick recap of the world of Android, including Android 12, all of the latest in modern Android development, like Jetpack
Mas eu não tenho vontade de fazer,
and some cool ways we're working with you to bring your experience to new screens. Before I hand it off to Barb, let's hear from our friends at Spotify.
Posso fazer uma Pokédex, um virtual, alguma coisa assim.
Is to connect millions of creators with billions of fans, and we believe that smartwatches is an essential device.
Essential device.
That vision. We've just released
não tem mais onde se conectar, vamos se conectar no pulso, né?
Eu não gosto nem de usar nada no braço.
Download music and podcasts to your watch, so you can go for a run without the distraction of bringing your phone with you, but still listen to your favorite playlists and podcasts. We believe that wearables will be more and more important in the future, and we see our investment in Wear as absolutely essential for Spotify.
The open web is grounded on interoperability, accessibility, and choice. Today, I'll share how we're working with you to add new capabilities and innovative approaches that advance what's possible on the web. We'll focus on 3 areas.
Pô, Paulo,
powerful new capabilities, performance optimizations for fast and seamless sites, and new solutions for user privacy. Together, we've been bringing more advanced features and computing power to the browser. From an array of new APIs to the ongoing evolution of WebAssembly, which lets you run code in the browser at near native speed. One trend that's really stood out in this past year is the browser's emergence as a first-class platform for voice and video apps, because it's so nice to jump right into a meeting without installing anything. And these new features are making these experiences even better. For example, when we couldn't gather in person, WebRTC helped Yahoo enrich the online event experience with live video chat. And WebAssembly's recently added support for SIMD processor instructions dramatically reduced CPU overhead for workloads like video processing and streaming, enabling Google Meet to make background blur available to twice as many users. Another visually immersive experience that relies on powerful browser capabilities is 3D mapping. And while Google Maps on the web has been using WebGL to deliver high-quality graphics rendering for years, it wasn't available in the Maps JavaScript API for developers. That changes today with 2 new beta features that allow you to tilt and rotate the map in 3D, while a new WebGL overlay view gives you the ability to render objects directly on the map for the first time, opening a world of new possibilities. Now, if you've been waiting for access to more, this year we've added a growing number of hardware APIs to Chrome Stable, allowing you to access nearly any device peripheral from your browser. And we're enabling access to the native file system for developers building text, photo, and code editors. So the Stacklets team could build an IDE all in the browser. And meanwhile, simply getting in front of people is something that we know every site cares about. So we've been working to better highlight progressive web apps in the browser to help people install and return to your app through their home screen, dock, or taskbar. And making it easy to list your PWAs in Google Play across Android and now Chrome OS with the Trusted Web Activity API. Plus, you can implement Google Play billing for subscriptions and in-app purchases with the Digital Goods API. All of this work to expand the web's capabilities and reach, empowering more companies to come to the web. Like TikTok, which brought its core experience to the mobile web in 2020 and desktop in 2021. So now people can find and share links to TikTok content across the open web. Or Adobe, which launched its rich Adobe Spark graphics and photo editor on the web to help creators and small businesses searching for a quick and easy creative app, or students doing classroom projects on their Chromebooks. Or e-commerce sites like Rakuten, which built an installable PWA in quick response to a surge in demand for online groceries, for the engagement of an installed app, and the cross-platform reach and efficiency of the web. We love to see developers combine the web's core powers with new capabilities and give us a clear vision of what the web can be. And that vision has to include performance. So we're continuing our work to make Chrome fast for users and developers. Highlights from the past year include making the V8 JavaScript engine even faster and dramatically reducing its memory footprint, introducing a next-generation compact image format, AVIF, and a back-forward cache for instant navigations on Chrome Android and soon all Chrome versions. We're also glad to see that lazy loading of images is now supported natively across all modern browsers, with the addition of a simple loading attribute. Of course, our work to build a faster web goes beyond the browser. We also want to help you improve your site's performance. So we examined millions of pages across the web to identify what makes a site feel fast to users. And 3 areas stood out.
Sua home tinha tipo 1000 imagens, você vai carregar só as primeirinhas e
site is to user input, and how stable
agora
the
só de
site
poder
is
pegar
as a
tag no
user.
HTML e falar esse aqui pode carregar depois,
as the core web vitals to help site owners build the best experiences possible.
Eles lançaram um outro evento
que eu
rosteei aqui.
Esqueci o nome do evento. And we're happy to see Core Web Vitals appear in analytics services like SpeedCurve
mas isso aí não é novidade não.
Like Wix.
Não é.
And this summer, Core Web Vitals will be added to the search ranking signals used by Google Search, helping users find relevant content that's fast, helping fast sites find new users.
Vai estar presente nas pesquisas
to see how your site performs and learn how you can improve your Core Web Vitals.
Eles já anunciaram que isso ia acontecer, né? Isso ia começar a influenciar nos resultados.
And finally,
foi o Google Web Dev.
Let's turn to the important work of improving privacy
Eles
in the Chrome browser and across the web. In 2019, we kicked off the Privacy Sandbox initiative to develop new privacy-preserving technologies to help the web move away from cross-site user tracking while continuing to support the critical capabilities that keep the web healthy. This requires technical innovation and iteration, working with countless stakeholders across the web. Several of the new Privacy Sandbox APIs are now available for developers to test so that you can evaluate them and share feedback before they roll out to Chrome Stable for broader use. And once the new solutions are in place and working for users and the ecosystem, we plan to phase out third-party cookies in Chrome. We're committed to navigating this transition responsibly, That means continuing to operate transparently every step of the way, sharing proposals, learnings, and progress, listening to your input, and providing meaningful notice before we make changes in Chrome. This includes our ongoing efforts to combat covert tracking techniques such as fingerprinting. And we'll continue to improve Chrome tools and user settings for safety and privacy. So please bring your questions to our AMA and check out our full privacy sandbox. We appreciate
mais uma vez eles estão falando de privacidade, né?
Community to build powerful, fast web experiences that people love and that they trust. Next up, it's the Flutter team. It's been great working with them to add web support. And in a minute, you'll hear the latest on Flutter from Zoe.
A web do Flutter, como é que evoluiu? Porque ainda tá no quase bem embrionário, né?
Não, o Flutter Web tá... Não conheço ninguém que usa em produção, não. Eu conheço essa mulher, gente. Diana, maravilhosa. Eu trouxe ela pro Brasil para participar do Vue.js Summit. Por que essas pessoas estão aparecendo?
Isso é influencer.
Flutter is an open source UI toolkit by Google that empowers developers to build beautiful experiences across multiple platforms.
Isso é DevRel, gente.
With Flutter, you can use the same code
né, na verdade.
to compile apps directly into machine code for Android, iOS, web, desktop, or anywhere that you might want to paint pixels on the screen. It's the first UI platform designed for an ambient computing world. Traditionally, when building apps, the first decision you have to make is, where's my app going to run? With Flutter, you start from the experience you want to create and can ship to any device you want to target. And that's just the beginning. Beyond Google, a global open source community is contributing
Ela é
to
Product
Flutter.
Manager do Flutter.
For example, companies like Toyota, Canonical, Sony, Samsung, and the Microsoft Surface team are all working to bring Flutter to even more devices. Already, there are more than 200,000 apps using Flutter in the Google Play Store like WeChat, My BMW, and Grab. Flutter is used by developers all around the world. For example, ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, is using Flutter in more than 70 apps. Productivity is why they continue to use Flutter. Their engineers say switching to Flutter has allowed them to ship new apps and features 30% faster. Within Google, more than 30 teams choose to build with Flutter for its productivity also. This includes Google Pay, which unified
Imagina o diretor de cada desses produtos se reunindo para falar sobre o futuro do Flutter.
To 1.1 million, reducing it by nearly half.
Como que a gente ajuda?
Today, we are excited to announce Flutter 2.2, which builds on this foundation. Here are some highlights. We improved the beta support for Flutter on desktop, so it's even easier for you to target Windows, macOS, and Linux from a single codebase.
Então, Goita, exatamente, acabou de sair o 2.0.
We've enabled sound no safety by default for new projects.
Tem duas palestras
We're helping developers to eliminate a whole class of errors, increase app performance, and reduce package size.
O que eu conheço que tem de gente que está tendo problema com esse negócio do no safety, migrando para o no safety.
We've updated the Flutter DevTools to help you understand how memory is allocated in your apps.
Essa migração está dando dor de cabeça.
Another major theme in Flutter 2.2 is how we are investing in ways to help connect your apps to the rest of the Google ecosystem. We're launching a new payment plugin with Google Pay. We're updating the Google Mobile Ads SDK for Flutter. We're promoting the in-app purchase plugin to production. We're expanding the Google APIs and cloud services your apps can access. And we're committed to fully supporting Material U when they ship later this year.
U é o Material Design for You.
Join our What's New in Flutter product keynote sessions and collabs for more. One more thing. Here at I.O.,
Tô a fim de fazer alguma coisa com esse Material U aí, só pra
Google's mobile and web app platform to create a fun, open source demo showing how easy it is to build a Flutter web app powered by Firebase services. So before you go,
E todos os serviços do Firebase deve servir, né, pro...
and grab a photo with our mascot Dash.
Qual que é o
And with that, it's time to hear more about Firebase with Francis.
Qual que é o app? Photobuff? Qual que é? Perdi.
Aí, o Fernando perguntou a marca da sua cadeira.
Thanks, Zoe.
Qual que é?
Our mission for
Se tiver na
Firebase
Twitch,
is
só
to empower you to
colocar
succeed
exclamação
by making
setup.
it easy to build and run mobile and web apps. Over 3 million apps use Firebase every month. We know you rely on our products like Crashlytics and real-time database throughout your app's lifecycle, and we rely on your feedback to continuously improve our offerings to suit your needs. I'm happy to share what we've been working on to help you accelerate your app development, ensure high-quality app experiences for your users, and keep your users engaged. Firebase's fully managed infrastructure products help you speed up and simplify development.
Ele é diretor de
But
Product
adding new
Management
features
do
can still be
Firebase.
time-consuming and tie up engineering resources. Designed to increase productivity, Firebase extensions are pre-packaged solutions that let you quickly add more functionality to your mobile and web apps, like translating text with the Google Cloud Translation API, or exporting Firestore collections to BigQuery. Now, we're expanding and releasing new extensions with companies you know and trust, so you can do even more. Like quickly integrate payments processing with Stripe, search Firestore with Algolia,
3 anos
send
só?
email with MailChimp, and communicate with your users via MessageBird, all without having to write any code or learn new APIs on your own. So let's say you're an e-commerce app and you want to keep customers informed about the status of their orders.
Mas era só database, real-time database só na época.
To your users. It's
Eles
easy to
foram
set up
colocando
with just a
que
few
eles falam
clicks
que
in
é
the
um
Firebase
guarda-chuva
console.
de
And
coisas.
once it's installed, you can add or update documents in Firestore, and the MessageBird extension will automatically send messages to your customers on channels like messaging apps or SMS. This implementation that normally would have taken days can now be done in hours with Firebase extensions. Check out extensions now to see how they can help you expand your app's functionality without a lot of additional work. Once your app is live, users expect it to be fast and responsive. Performance monitoring presents mobile and web app performance data, so you know exactly how users are experiencing your app from their point of view. We're pleased to share our latest updates to performance monitoring. Now, you can track and improve your performance metrics in real time. This lets you monitor the rollout of a new app release within minutes and identify issues before they become major problems. But that's not all. We redesigned the performance monitoring dashboard to help you better identify your most crucial performance issues. The new comprehensive trace table lets you compare trends across your metrics and zero in on the biggest changes that need your immediate attention.
Uma boa pergunta,
Like
Goito.
a network call that's been running slower than before.
Em geral, o Firebase ele tem muita coisa que é free até um determinado tanto, sabe? Você tem uma cota que você pode utilizar, daí você passa e você tem que começar a pagar. Mas eu não sei se esse real-time metrics é assim.
Front and center right in the dashboard.
Mas a gente vai pesquisar
Get started
sobre, né,
with performance monitoring today to ensure your users experience the best version of your app.
Is performance monitoring.
Another challenge you can turn to Firebase to help you solve is user engagement. And that's where Firebase Remote Config comes in.
Você já usou o Remote
Lets you
Config?
update
É
the
legal.
behavior and appearance of your app for different audience segments without releasing a new version. This lets you run A/B tests, roll out new features, or push custom experiences to groups of users, all from the Firebase console. Now, while A/B tests are a great tool, it can take some time and expertise to set up, run, analyze, and roll out the results. And that's why we're launching a new feature called personalization, which uses the power of Google's machine learning to automatically deliver the best experience to each of your users individually.
Eu queria entender pouco mais desse
personalization starts to deliver optimized experiences within hours. Best of all, You don't need to manually analyze the results and pick a single winning experience to roll out. So let's say you're a game developer and you want to balance the difficulty of your game to keep users engaged. With personalization, you can set up different options and then ask Firebase to figure out the rest for you. Personalization automatically learns which types of users respond best to which difficulty settings. It then assigns each user the right sets of value to maximize their enjoyment.
Teste AB automático,
casual player
powered by
the
AI.
challenge. To get ready for personalization, install the Remote Config SDK today. And if you want to test out personalization
Caraca, ele levou o Remote Config para outro nível, assim.
Where you can get early access to it. With every improvement to Firebase, we aim to take away the hard work for you so you can focus on delivering the amazing experiences that people rely on every day.
Eu quero saber como é que é essa configuração, se você seta os estados antes de decidir, né? Meio que isso que eu entendi. Mas tem pra criar todos os estados diferentes e tal.
Provavelmente no Keynote de Android, eles vão falar mais em detalhes. Tem um só de Firebase também, né? Isso aí provavelmente vai falando de Firebase. Qual o nome? Que mal.
We've seen the many ways AI is making our products more helpful in people's daily lives. These inspiring stories are made possible by developers just like you, applying machine learning to solve the problems they're passionate about. But machine learning is evolving at an incredible pace. When you
Olha, head de produto do TensorFlow.
We don't expect you to be an ML expert. Instead,
cara, o TensorFlow tá muito monstro, né? Ele tá em tudo. Agora,
ele tá saindo do Deep Learning, ele tá entrando muito no Machine Learning.
É que eles estão facilitando muito para desenvolvedores, principalmente mobile, front-end, que possam utilizar esse recurso sem saber Machine Learning, né? Isso é muito legal mesmo.
Like traffic or bird songs or music. How would you build this app? The first step is to look for existing models. On TensorFlow Hub, you can find hundreds of pre-trained models for video, image, text,
é o poder dos models pré-treinados.
Here, you will need an audio model, and this one by Google can recognize a variety of different sounds.
Isso é bacana, né? Porque aí você deixa o Dev Android sendo útil como Dev Android, né? Tipo, se precisar de um novo modelo, aí você tem de fato um Machine Learning Engineer lá trabalhando na criação de um novo algoritmo, né? Isso é bem legal.
This allows you to go from all this code to this.
Putz.
Finally, to recognize your own sounds, you will need to customize your model. Building your own model can be time-consuming. It requires taking several steps, like loading your own data, labeling it, defining features, and more.
Que da hora.
TensorFlow Lite Model Maker automates these steps for popular use cases, allowing you to take a state-of-the-art model and customize it using your own data set using only a few lines of code. As you can see, in just 3 simple steps and no ML experience, you can build an app that recognizes any specific sound around you. And that's just one example. You can go wherever inspiration takes you. The web is another area where we're making it easier to build AI applications. JavaScript is one of the world's most popular languages with millions of developers. TensorFlow JS, our JavaScript library, lets you build AI experiences in your website without having to install a single SDK. It runs directly in the browser, and all you need to do is reference it in your code, include the model as a JSON file, and you're good to go. Let's take a look at an example. Imagine you want to detect spam in user comments. Bots can generate a lot of spam. By capturing it directly in the browser, you can save on server costs and improve user experience. A use case like this requires a text model that's been trained with existing comments. Luckily, TensorFlow Hub also offers a text model you can start with. And you can test this one directly in your browser before you putting it in your web app.
Agora não tem mais.
Now, not all common spam is the same. You might have specific examples for your community. To customize your model, you can use TensorFlow Lite Model Maker again. And since you're on the web, let's use Colab, Google's hosted notebook service, which allows anybody to run Python code through the browser.
O Colab
é top, né? Pelo amor de Deus. Que ambiente incrível de desenvolvimento.
Much faster. ML in the browser opens up many new exciting use cases for millions of web developers. For example, you can now use the entire collection of TensorFlow-like models with TensorFlow.js, so they can directly be used on the web,
aqui, ó.
no conversion
Dá para usar
required.
TPU no Google Colab, tá?
Bluetooth
Só para
API
você
is
saber.
compatible with TensorFlow-like for microcontrollers. So you can deploy models to a tiny board directly from your browser without installing software.
É surreal.
As you can
Demora
see,
muito para você precisar de fato ter um hardware top, um ambiente montado com PyCharm, por exemplo, né? Você pode usar o Colab assim.
To help you get started, we've created a new on-device machine learning site with learning pathways and turnkey solutions where you can learn how to build common apps like the mobile and web examples I just shared. These tools are available open source and complement our set of cloud AI products,
open source is the
support
key.
every type of ML development.
Google passou Microsoft.
We know that it can be frustrating to
termos de open source,
various tools, frameworks, and platforms. This can make it difficult to manage your models efficiently.
Liderou uns bons anos.
To solve this, we have an exciting announcement. I'd like to introduce
a Microsoft começou a se abrir um pouquinho mais, né, depois da mudança lá da liderança e tal. A Microsoft está me surpreendendo. Sendo bem sincera.
While simplifying model management. Let's revisit our comment spam example
Vertex
using
AI.
data from BigQuery.
Esse eu não
First,
conheço.
with Vertex AI, we don't need to build the model ourselves. AutoML can take care of that for us.
Ou eu não conheci ou está sendo lançado agora? Peraí, deixa eu
Just
ver.
press the train button, and AutoML will search state-of-the-art models, customize them to build just the right one for you, completely
Vertex AI é uma empresa.
Of course, you can also bring your own ML code written in popular frameworks
like TensorFlow,
and use Vertex AI to train faster at scale. Next, Vertex makes it easy to understand and test our model. Here we can see a solid accuracy improvement, and we can use feature importance to tell us which inputs our model relies on most to make its predictions, giving you more transparency.
Em 2018, a Intel adquiriu o Vertex AI. Nossa, a Intel é muito parceira do Google.
We can also easily test the model in the console. For this example,
quando eu fui para Califórnia, teve até um evento da Intel mais Google antes do I/O.
So we have a great model, but we're not done. In reality, we will need to keep iterating on this model. We need to make sure new comments are classified correctly. And if spammers adapt, we should update our model by retraining it on new data, evaluate it, and redeploy it. This can be a lot of work.
Para sexta a gente vai ter que chamar alguém de ML para poder falar um pouquinho dessas novidades aí. Vou ver se o Arnaldo Galberto topa participar com a gente.
Using Kubeflow or TensorFlow Extended. This is what our spam detection example looks like. With the output generated from each step, you can track the artifacts across the whole process. It makes it really easy to have Vertex AI automatically retrain your model on new spam data and redeploy it only if your quality targets are met. And we've already seen some great use cases from our beta partners. For example, Portal Telemedicina, a Brazilian healthcare startup, used Vertex AI and its model validation features to scan thousands
Sendo mencionado de uma forma boa, que maravilha.
Realmente começa, o mundo está um caos, o Brasil...
high-risk patients. We can't wait to see what we build with Vertex AI. Check out our resources or get started by going to your Google Cloud console. Many of you have made our AI tools what they are today. And on behalf of the ML teams at Google, thank you. What inspires me the most is seeing what you do with these new tools in your hands. Whether it's on your phone or your browser or on tiny devices, we are amazed by the things you build. Things that we could have never imagined. Things like what we saw in the video of Jason Barnes and his prosthetic arm, which gave him back his ability to drum. That is truly amazing. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Jason.
You can build and build.
Olha quem apareceu ali, brasileiro.
There's always endless possibilities.
Caramba, que da hora. Tô curtindo muito esses vídeos de transição.
E agora voltando para o DevHel.
The things you can do with machine learning are truly incredible. Some of the most exciting examples I've seen recently have been through the work we're doing with startups around tackling climate change. Over the past 2 years, we've supported dozens of sustainability-focused startups in Japan and Europe. and we recently launched our first accelerator in North America. We're helping 11 startups use machine learning to tackle big challenges, from creating carbon-negative concrete to making everything from office buildings to pet food more sustainable. These are companies like Yardstick, who saw there was a huge opportunity to store CO2 from the atmosphere into the soil and decided to build the tools that were needed to measure it. They're using Google Maps, TensorFlow, and our compute platforms to allow instant carbon level testing. This can enable large-scale adoption of sustainable agricultural practices that will capture more carbon in the ground. Examples like this show how developers coming together can be such a powerful force. And that's what makes moments like I.O. so special. While you're here, we encourage you to visit the Community Lounge to find and join the community group that's right for you. Now, we've covered a lot of ground today, but there's more our team wants to share with you. One of the benefits of a virtual I.O. is that you can check out any session you want.
A quantidade de coisa que tem no Google I.O. esse ano. Se vocês quiserem participar de alguma delas.
All content will be available on demand, so I encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone and explore something new. For developers interested in emerging platforms, we have updates from AR Core about new APIs. And information on the new industry-wide Matter initiative for the Smart Home. We also have updates from the ads team, Google Pay, and others, as well as sessions and code labs to get you started on everything you've heard about today. And we've created I.O. Adventure, which is an interactive environment where you can visit product domes, play with interactive demos, and chat with attendees. You can also hear directly from the experts with 26 live Ask Me Anything sessions with Googlers you know and love. We're here to support you as you build your next amazing products. This year has shown us so much, how interconnected we are, how resilient we are, and how powerful we are when we all work together. I hope we can take what we've learned and build the world we need for the future. So enjoy I.O. Connect with each other, learn new things, invest in yourself I.O. and in the community. I can't wait to see what you build, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Learn new things, connect to each other, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Nossa equipe agradece, Marcos. Você viu ali? Que bonitinho.
Cadê? Obrigado.
Tava escrito em português primeiro, eu achei muito fofo. Peraí, vamos voltar essa parte.
Ah, será que ele volta? Ele volta.
You couldn't have that.
A huge thanks. Segurança, Covid.
You enjoyed the show and that you were staying safe, whatever. Eles esperam que vocês tenham gostado e que vocês estejam seguros onde quer que vocês estejam. Todas as precauções foram tomadas.
Falando sobre a equipe, seguranças com relação à equipe, né? Protocolos. Acho que é isso.
Perfeito, perfeito.
O SBC comentou, quero ver a Virtual Planet nessa lista. Quem sabe um dia estaremos lá.
Deixa eu só ver aqui o português. Cortou de novo.
Isso.
Mas você viu o que aconteceu aquela hora? É porque provavelmente o Developer Keynote ele foi hosteado do canal. Tá unlisted, o do Google I.O. e o do Developer Keynote.
Minha Nossa Senhora. Galera chegou chegando. Thaíssa travou? Tá safe, né? Voltou agora? Olha quem está de volta.
O que aconteceu?
Você deu um freeze aí, mas já voltou.
O que aconteceu?
Voltou agora, estamos te ouvindo.
Eu não sei o que aconteceu. Chegou um monte de gente, recebemos uma raid, é isso? Invasão!
Recebemos uma invasão.
Meu Deus! Poki, obrigada, Poki. Obrigada pela raid, galera.
Chegando, derrubou tudo.
Derrubou tudo, travou tudo aqui. Eita, derrubou o microfone. Gente, para quem chegou agora, acabou de acabar o Developer Keynote da Google. A gente tá fazendo a cobertura do Google I.O. que é a maior conferência do Google voltada para falar sobre os anúncios da Google, tanto voltado para o usuário final. Então, por exemplo, a gente viu novidades relacionadas a funcionalidades do Google Maps, a Google Fotos, enfim, para o usuário final. E no segundo momento, isso foi das 2 até as 4, certo, Paulo?
Certo.
E a gente anotou um monte de coisa legal. Na sexta-feira a gente vai fazer uma live 8h30 da noite para falar tanto das novidades que a gente viu, tanto nesse Keynote, quanto no Developer Keynote, que acabou de acabar, que aí foi mais voltado para desenvolvimento web, né, o que tem relacionado ao Chrome, por exemplo, tem relacionado ao Android, ao Android Studio, Flutter, enfim. Então, essas várias novidades, principalmente inteligência artificial, né, gente? A gente estava até brincando aqui que não é Google I.O., é Google AI, porque é muita novidade. Tudo está relacionado à inteligência artificial, incrivelmente. Mas é isso, e aí 8h30 da noite, sexta-feira, faremos uma live aqui no meu canal do YouTube, no canal do YouTube do Paulo também. Paulo, se você quiser mandar o link aqui, e também na minha Twitch, a gente vai fazer a transmissão, e a gente vai trazer alguns Google Developer Experts de algumas áreas para poder conversar com a gente. A gente é mais de Android, né? Eu sou dev Android, o Paulo é Android também, mas também é professor de algumas outras coisas, como inteligência artificial, AR, enfim. E a gente vai trazer uma galera para falar de coisas que complementem os nossos conhecimentos, né? Como o próprio Machine Learning, né? Alguma pessoa que seja realmente... Tô pensando em trazer o Arnaldo Galberto, vamos ver se ele vem, ele é Machine Learning Engineer na Wildlife. Enfim, vamos ver quem que a gente consegue arrastar para sexta-feira. Mas fala aí, Paulo, o que você achou do Developer Keynote?
Eu achei que eles meio que pegaram bastante no discurso das 2 horas falando sobre os keynotes gerais e deram uma base meio de desenvolvimento para isso. Passaram rápido sobre ferramentas que estão vindo para web, Android, tem 1 milhão de coisas vindo. Acabaram, acho que o keynote geral falou até um pouco mais sobre as funcionalidades em si, e o Developer Keynote teve um papel de apresentar geral e fundamentar e mostrar do que eles estão indo atrás. Eu curti bastante a parte de Machine Learning sem precisar de internet, Machine Learning sem precisar de programação, redução de código. Porque uma das dificuldades que a gente tem dentro do Machine Learning é justamente implementar e treinar os modelos, e acho que essa é uma parte das mais difíceis, assim, e colocar o Machine Learning no dia a dia, sabe? E aí essas ferramentas meio que justificam um pouco disso. Sobre desenvolvimento Flutter, tiveram algumas coisinhas, né? Tem o Flutter 2.2 sendo lançado, tem algumas... não lembro muito uma key feature, assim, para o Flutter que eles estejam trazendo, mas essa parte de multiplataforma, eu acho que eles apostam muito no Flutter quanto a isso, o lance das interfaces também. Como o Flutter acaba se beneficiando do Android Studio, então tudo que eles lançam para Android acaba batendo ali no Flutter também, indo junto, né? Não falaram nada sobre o Flutter na web, então não sei o que esperar, se tem alguma melhoria nesse cara, ou como é que tá a adoção disso. Mas chegaram a falar sobre o Kotlin bastante, né? O lance do Kotlin está presente em 80% dos top 1000 apps, mostra a relevância da linguagem. Hoje não tem uma vaga dev Android que não peça Kotlin.
Mesmo que tenha que saber Java, né, em muitos contextos, porque foi o que a gente falou, né? Tem muito aplicativo que usa os dois, porque tem compatibilidade, né? Então, tem muito aplicativo que tem Kotlin e Java, e aí em muitas vagas é importante que você saiba Java até para dar manutenção no legado, né?
Sim, inclusive hoje eu dei aula de manhã no Samsung Ocean de Android, estava falando isso com o pessoal. Falei, não adianta muito... Às vezes você não precisa aprender Java, mas não adianta muito estar dentro do Android sem saber pelo menos ler um código Java. No começo dá para se virar bem sem a linguagem, mas em alguns momentos, como é o Java que está rodando direto, então você precisa saber, não tem jeito. Mas com mais fácil a gente deixar o Kotlin para desenvolvimento, eu acho que vai ficar um negócio mais uniforme, com conceitinhos um pouco melhores, assim. Uma mensagem importante que eles falaram eles querem tornar fazer do jeito certo ser também fazer do jeito mais fácil. O Jetpack
às vezes você quer fazer do jeito certo ou do jeito fácil, né?
Exatamente. É uma escolha, né? E usar a biblioteca, fazer o boilerplate, que a gente chama, né? Que aquele código não tem magia, você tem que escrever e manter, mas é bem quadradão. Tirar um pouco o boilerplate, deixar isso para as bibliotecas resolverem, é algo que o TensorFlow está apostando bastante. Então tem, acho que pontos marcantes aí. Sobre o AR Core em si, eles chegaram a comentar algumas coisinhas de realidade aumentada. mas tem a parte... Acho que o primeiro Keynote falou um pouco mais sobre a realidade aumentada e os usos dela, né? No Developer Keynote não senti tanto, assim, um major feature, um major support, porque, querendo ou não, o AirCore já está bem estabelecido. Mas, por exemplo, eu sei que dispositivos Android já tem LiDAR faz um tempo, mas, ao mesmo tempo, a Apple anunciou final do ano passado ali o LiDAR no novo iPhone e tal. Eu queria ter visto um pouquinho mais sobre a integração do AR com o LiDAR. Eu queria que eles tivessem falado sobre isso, não falaram. Então, sei lá, algumas coisas que vêm na cabeça aí, lembrando, porque foram 3 horas absorvendo conteúdo igual uns doidos aqui, né? E o pessoal passa a tradução simultânea. Eu falei, é impossível. Tem que entender ou pesquisar.
Dublagem.
Pelo menos a gente trouxe uns dados relevantes aí sobre as pessoas. Achei até interessante, né? Assistir, saber quem são as pessoas e tal.
Eu gosto bastante de fazer isso.
Mas é isso. Minha agenda está lotada amanhã de eventos da Google I.O. Então, sugiro que vocês abram o site da própria Google I.O., dê uma olhada tanto na programação dos eventos ao vivo que rolam ainda hoje ao longo do dia. Em 15 minutos a gente tem o evento do Android rolando, as novidades do Android. Hoje, mais para o final do dia, tem alguns outros eventos e tal. Novidades da plataforma web, vai rolar hoje 18h15.
Tem algumas coisas que vão acontecer de madrugada, né, por conta do fuso horário, mas o que não dá para vocês assistirem, tipo, eu não vou conseguir assistir o do Android, vocês podem ver o replay depois. Ele vai acontecer pelo menos uma vez em cada dia, né? Então ele acontece hoje, mas ele repete amanhã e repete também depois de amanhã, tá?
Sim. Amanhã a gente tem vários eventos, novidades do Flutter, novidades do Mature Design, novidades do Machine Learning, tem novidades do Firebase, Google Assistant, e aí depois, no final do dia, eles trazem algumas coisas sobre AirCore e realidade aumentada. Amanhã à noite, assim, tá bem realidade aumentada para quem tem interesse.
Tem o de Kotlin também, server-side, amanhã no final do dia.
O Wagner comentou, o Jetpack às 17h45. Tem bastante coisa. E esses conteúdos ficam todos disponíveis depois, então dá para assistir. E tem muita coisa on demand. Tem as sessões de perguntas e respostas, que ao vivo é interessante, porque você está assistindo, de repente quer fazer uma pergunta.
AMA.
AMA. O que significa AMA?
Tá lá no site. Ask Me Anything.
Mas é isso, né? Eu curti. O que você achou, Thaís? Eu achei bem legal o formatinho. Não sei o que o pessoal achou do nosso formato improviso. Ficamos pensando como fazer.
Bom, a gente está aprendendo a fazer cobertura, mas eu acho que foi bem legal, né? A ideia era que vocês pudessem assistir com a gente. A gente podia ter simplesmente, tipo, assistido junto e depois anotado e feito conteúdo para vocês, mas a gente falou, por que a gente não faz uma live e assiste junto com o pessoal, né? Claro que a gente vai dar uma estudada em muitas coisas que a gente viu aqui, que, sei lá, a gente não conhece, né? Então, teve até... qual foi o Project Starline, por exemplo, eu não conhecia sobre ele, então a gente vai dar uma estudadinha, ver o que a gente pode trazer de interessante para vocês na sexta-feira. Mas o nosso objetivo aqui era que a gente pudesse compartilhar as nossas reações, né, comentários, enfim, pudesse aproveitar esse momento junto com vocês. Espero que vocês tenham gostado dessa ideia muito louca. Particularmente, eu sou muito suspeita, né, para falar sobre o Google, né, a empresa que me mandou 2 vezes para a Califórnia de graça, assim, acho que a gente não tem como odiar uma empresa dessa. Eu sou muito fã do Google I.O., gosto muito do evento, como professora de oratória, eu gosto muito da forma com que eles expõem as novidades também. A apresentação, né, ela é muito bem feita, muito bem treinada, então é óbvio que eu acabo analisando essas coisas também. Mas é isso, assim, de tudo que você falou, assim, só para complementar, o Jetpack Compose era o que eu mais queria ver, né, para quem desenvolve Android nativo, o Jetpack Compose, eu acho que ele vai, assim, facilitar a vida. Eu gostei bastante da parte, falando do Developer Keynote, que fala sobre os diversos devices, né? É um problema que a gente tem como programador Android de construir aplicativos para uma porrada de tipo de resolução diferente, né? É uma dificuldade que a gente tem, que quando eu era dev iOS, não tinha tudo isso, não. Tipo, era só uma quantidadezinha limitada ali e já era. Então, assim como você tem os benefícios de ter várias resoluções diferentes para as pessoas poderem escolher, né? A gente também tem o desafio de desenvolver para essas aplicações, né, para esses devices. Então, o Google tá trabalhando nisso, no próprio Android Studio, né, eles também estão trabalhando, isso é muito legal, porque o Android Studio sempre foi uma carroça, e cada vez mais a gente vê eles colocando cada vez mais funcionalidades lá dentro, mas também tentando buscar otimizar um pouquinho, né, esse peso todo, como ele come RAM até não querer mais. Eu não sou dev web, né, mas eu particularmente acompanho as coisas de desenvolvimento web, então eu gostei ali, por exemplo, do que foi falado sobre o Core Web Vitals, né, que eu falei para vocês que eu fiz uma cobertura desse evento em parceria com o Google pelo GDG Campinas, né, que eu sou organizadora do Google Developer Group Campinas, e a gente fez, o Douglas e a Ana, a gente fez a transmissão em parceria com o Google, do Google Web Dev, onde falou sobre o Core Web Vitals, então eu recomendo quem é Dev Web, dá uma olhadinha. É um site super bacana que te ajuda a analisar o seu site, como ele tá em termos de performance, de acessibilidade e tudo mais. E o anúncio não foi o Core Web Vitals, né, Paulo? O anúncio foi que agora isso passará a contar no SEO, né, que é uma coisa super importante, é um aspecto super importante de todos os sites, como ele é ranqueado ali na busca, né? Então, eu achei isso interessante, o BF Cache também, o WebGL, eu quero realmente entender o que de fato eles estão lançando, porque ficou uma incógnita para mim. Mas
parece que aparece o uso do WebGL dentro do Google Maps, vão começar a integrar um pouco mais que o WebGL para renderização de 3D, substituir o Canvas na web e tal.
Eu não entendi direito, assim, tipo, beleza, o que vocês estão disponibilizando pra gente, ou só tá contando que agora vai estar usando por baixo dos panos? Eu quero entender um pouquinho mais. Tem o Firebase Extensions, que eu realmente não me lembrava de ter visto isso. O Firebase é gigantesco, né? Assim, dizer que você conhece tudo é até difícil, mas eu não conhecia o Firebase Extension, quero dar uma olhadinha. O Firebase Remote Config...
Esse é louco, né?
Cara, tipo, o Remote Config já é da hora, né? Você poder mudar as configurações, codificações do seu aplicativo sem ter que, por exemplo, lançar uma atualização, né? Ou fazer um force update, né? Não precisa disso. Você faz através dessas configurações. Só que eles levaram para um outro nível o Remote Config agora, né? Então, para uso de teste AB e de forma automatizada usando AI, tipo...
É o que o cara falou, o teste AB é uma parada muito louca, mas ao mesmo tempo o teste AB tem 18 etapas, você tem que chamar até Jesus Cristo para analisar o app, para testar.
Jesus Cristo para analisar o app.
De repente os caras falam, tá aqui, tá, Jesus agora é o Firebase Remote Config.
A gente vai te dizer o que pode ser testado, né, quais as opções, assim, tipo, eu achei muito legal.
Presente, é onisciente, ele vai customizar para os seus usuários sem você precisar fazer nada.
Exatamente. Uma outra coisa que eu anotei aqui, eu anotei pouca coisa do Developer Keynote, porque foi muita coisa, né? Teve uma hora assim que apareceu, o que tem de novo no Kotlin? Pá!
12
o que tem de novo no Android? Pá! Tipo, eu falei, não, desisto. Mas a última coisa que eu anotei aqui foi sobre o Real-Time Monitoring Performance do Firebase, e o Real-Time Metrics, e até o Goito fez uma pergunta que eu anotei aqui pra gente pesquisar depois, Paulo, se ele é free. Né? Não sei se essa parte de monitoramento, de métricas é free, mas eu achei fenomenal, né? Eu sou a louca dos dados, a louca dos números, enfim. Então, quanto mais números, melhor, e quanto mais automatizado, né? Quanto menos a gente tiver que realmente ter que ir lá, pegar essas informações e gerar um gráfico, pô, se ele já pega automaticamente, isso é do caramba, né?
Sim.
Mas é isso, tipo, curti pra caramba, de verdade, gostei muito. Espero que vocês tenham gostado.
Pro Material U também, né?
Material U, customização ao infinito e além, galera. É personalização, é tornar a sua experiência extremamente personalizada. E isso foi falado tanto no Keynote quanto no Developer Keynote, né? Então, no Keynote, isso como uma funcionalidade do Android. Se não me engano, só no 12? É isso? Vai ser lançado no 12, né?
No 12, exatamente.
E isso como funcionalidade para a gente poder utilizar como desenvolvedor, né? Como desenvolvedora. Então, achei do caramba. E falou muito de Flutter também, né? Que a gente não mencionou aqui muita coisa, mas uma porrada de coisa. O Google está investindo no Flutter, mas não deixa de investir no Android nativo, né? Porque existem contextos para serem usados. Mas é isso, gente.
É isso, gostei bastante. Eu espero que a galera tenha curtido de verdade. Foi bem divertido fazer. Acho que a gente nunca tinha testado esse formato, Google I/O online, tudo mudando, pandemia mudando, mas ao mesmo tempo emendar logo os dois eventos foi bem massa. Empolgado aí para testar as coisas. O que vai ser legal é perceber as coisas chegando, as novidades chegando tanto no mundo de desenvolvimento quanto no mundo de usuário ali, Google Meets agora integrado no Doc.
Nossa,
um
Notion do Google. O Notion do Google.
Notion do Google, a gente acabou nem falando, né? Qual que é o nome?
Nossa, eu acho que eu anotei aqui, peraí. Vai falando aí que eu acho aqui.
Tem o próprio Lambda,
Nossa,
sei lá.
Lambda. Lambda ou Lambda?
Acho que é Lambda, só Lambda. Tem o Lambda também para você trocar ideia. Vamos ver. Vai ser da hora.
Eu acho que é no próprio Google Workspace ali, viu?
Sim.
O esqueminha lá que parece com o Notion. Pô, muito legal. Live Caption, 51 vozes no Assistant, AlphaFold, muita coisa de Natural Language Processing. Nossa, Quantum Computing, a gente praticamente não falou disso, até porque a gente não manja, né, gente? Tipo, a gente sabe um pouquinho da teoria, né? Mas...
Até o pessoal tem comentado para falar um pouco mais sobre, mas, cara, é um negócio que pra gente é muito novo. Eu já li artigos falando sobre qubit, mas eu nunca mexi. No máximo, li alguns livros que citavam, sabe?
E assim, a gente não falou, porque a gente particularmente nunca criou nada para smartwatch. Mas eles falaram tanto do smartwatch da Samsung quanto do Fitbit, né, que foi adquirida em janeiro desse ano pelo Google, que foi uma das pioneiras nessa parte de smartwatch voltado para saúde, né, para analisar a saúde das pessoas e tudo mais. E uma coisa que eu tinha notado aqui também é quando você tira foto de um machucado, de uma pinta, de qualquer coisa, e o Dr. Google agora vai conseguir te dar um diagnóstico usando inteligência artificial. Eu fiquei tipo, what?
Sim. Essa parte de diagnóstico baseado em foto.
Foi bizarro. Foi bizarro.
Teve bastante menção ao Brasil em si, né? No país, achei isso bem legal.
Achei bacana também. Bom, gente, acho que é isso. Eu tenho uma reunião agora. Não sei se você vai continuar aqui falando com a galera.
Nada, vamos. Eu tô indo também, que é o dia primeira vez na minha vida que eu paro uma tarde para falar, deixa eu fazer um negócio 100% para a comunidade, que a gente esteja divertindo. Eu nem tô lendo mensagens em outras redes, assim, porque hoje à tarde foi reservada ao Google I.O.
Perfeito. Paulo, obrigado por ter aceitado o convite, obrigado pela companhia aqui, em assistir o Google I.O. comigo. Pessoal do chat do Paulo, do meu chat do YouTube, do chat da Twitch, obrigado pela companhia de vocês, esperamos que vocês tenham gostado. E a gente se vê na sexta-feira, às 20h30. Já pode entrar no nosso canal, fazer o remind lá, já colocar o lembrete, e a gente se vê então.
O sino, fiquem ligados e ligadas aí.
Galera, é isso aí. E a gente se vê em uma próxima.
Um beijo pra você.